What's going on, guys, girls? Rob here with you this evening. And we have the New York Giants, 3-12-1. Bill Parcells' team going against Tom Landry's Dallas Cowboys, 12-4. Week 3. And let's see. Let me check both of these two teams out, and I'll tell you their records. I know Dallas lost week 1 to Washington. And week 2, I think they won. But let's see. So Dallas went 0-1. Let's see. The Giants lost to the Rams. They went 0-1. The Giants beat the Falcons 24-16, and the Cowboys beat the Cardinals 21-14. That was a very good game in St. Louis. And we are just about ready to go here. Whoops. The dot will be for Dallas. The dot will be for Dallas. No dot will be for the Giants. Okay. We're ready. Dot means Dallas will have the ball first. 14 on a kickoff. Great field position already. And that was a good return by the Cowboys. Here we go. 6 is 5 minutes. 1-5-6. Poor field position. Nope. Great field position. It will be a field goal opportunity. Field goal attempt. 12-55. Whoop, 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 whoop. 1-2. Give it a chance. 44. Good. And it will be 3-0 Dallas. 3-0 Dallas. Now the Giants. Let's see what they can do. 56 average field position. And here we go. Oh, okay. After this, we'll have to check for both of them. 166. Wow. 166. Dull offense. It is. It's going to be a punt. Now, I have to check because I didn't check for the Cowboys. Not an extra 2. And the extra 2 for the Giants? No. Now they got to punt the ball. It'll be a 51. Average field position to Dallas. Up 3-0. Here we go. 2 dots. So that's 2.5 minutes. 2, 2, 3. 2, 2, 3. Undisciplined defense by the Giants. Semi-undisciplined. No dot. Mild defense. No. It'll be a punt. Punt. And Dallas now will punt the football. 65. Great field position for the Giants. Great field position with, whoops, I'm sorry, not average. Great. Down 3-0 with only 2.5 minutes left to go. What's up, Tim? What's going on? 1 dot. We'll leave 1:15 left. And this is going to be a 1-2-4. And this is going to be season prior to 2014. Yep. Interception. Interception. Was it Hart? Interception. Scott Bruner interception. Dallas now. See if they run it back. 5. They're going to get back a little ways with it. Great field position for Dallas. And at this point, we'll see who intercepted it for the Cowboys. Michael Downs. All right. 1:15 left to go, first quarter. And that will actually take us out of the first quarter. And it'll be 3-0 Dallas. And now we'll go in the second quarter. 266. Is this a passive defense? No. Is this a clumsy offense? Dallas is not clumsy. Is this an active defense? Nope. Straight up punt. Straight up punt. This will be a punt. 56 will leave average field position for the Giants here in this second quarter. dot. 146. Staunch defense. No. Touchdown run, Giants. Touchdown run by the Giants, and they're up 6-3. Enjoying relaxing evening. Get to sleep in tomorrow if I want to. Oh, okay. No work tomorrow, huh? Cool. It must be snowing. Let me get myself a taste of some soda. And 2. Woolful rushes and gets it. And now extra point intent, 12-64. Now I work tomorrow. Sleeping in is like 7 instead of 5 or 6. I got you. 61's good. I got you. 7-3. 7-3. All right. Now Dallas will get the ball. 13. On a kickoff, it's going to be a kickoff return fumble. Kickoff return, and it's a fumble. All right, 50-50 chance for them to recover. Let's see what happens here. Returner recovers his own fumble, average field position. So Dallas now will put no turnover. That's big for Dallas. And they get average field position. Let's see what happens now. 5 minutes. 5 minutes. It'll be 1-5-6. Poor field position. No. Great field position. No. It's going to be a fumble. That will be a fumble this time. It will be a fumble this time. And first off, let's see if it's going to be extra 2.5 minutes. No. Fumble. 1. Poor field position for the Giants. All right. And let's see who recovered it for them. Number 9. T. Jackson. All right. Recovers the fumble. And now it's their ball. Down to 5 minutes left in the first half. 3-3-5. Great field position. No, poor field position. Punt, coffin corner. Yeah. Coffin corner, punt. .56. Average field position, Dallas. With only 5 minutes left to go in the half. That took half of it right there. 2-4-6. 2-4-6. Dull offense. No. Not by Dallas. Nope. Touchdown run. Touchdown run, Dallas. Touchdown run, Dallas. Tony Dorsett. Tony Dorsett. And they want the extra point if they can get it. 12-65. No good. It's an 11. No good. How about that? 9-7 Dallas. And Giants now will get the ball back. What's up, Darius? 22 will be average field position, and now they can only get a 1 or a 2 or a 3 or 4. 1, 2, 3, or 4. So they got a few ways to do something here. 4, 5, 6. 4, 5, 6. And that will be an INT, though. But it will take care of the half. But now we have to just see who gets it, and then if there's a chance to run it back. So first off, who intercepts it for Dallas? Number 10. Hill. All right. And now Oh, there's a 6. So now all you got to do is get a 5 or a 6. No, interception. Got to just get a 6 again. No. Oh, my goodness. Interception, but nothing came from it. End of half. End of half. Okay. And Giants score 7 that quarter, and the Cowboys score 6. And the score is 9-7 Dallas. And the Giants now will get the ball starting the second half. Hope Mrs. Robb had a great birthday yesterday. We'll ask her. She said yes. She said yes. Thank you very much. We went out for dinner tonight, and just got home, and now she's got a little ice cream, eating a little bit of ice cream. So very cool. We stepped in maybe 5 minutes ago. All right. Let's see. Let's go right here. New York Giants. And they're going to get the ball first, second half. 34, average field position. 3 dots, and it's going to be a 2-2-5. Dull offense. It is a dull offense. It'll be a punt. Be a punt. All right. Punt time for 23 on a punt. Poor field position for Dallas. All right. 5. 3 dots there, and that's half of the third quarter. 4, 5, 6. And that's an INT. That's an INT. The old interception, the old 4, 5, 6 interception. And now, let's see who for the Giants gets it. 2. Jackson gets it. Now, so kind of run back we get. Whoops, that does not count with that dice in there. 5. Great field position, New York Giants. No dice can be in. We say great field position. Okay. And it's 9-7 is the score. What 3 positions should the Raiders target most in the draft and free agency? Well, they going after the kid from Green Bay. They're going to try to get him. I think he could use a linebacker. Maybe go after the guy that used to be for the Rams. Plays for the Rams. But taxi driver, drug tester, and police officer. Yeah. Oh, boy. 2 dots. At least 5 minutes left. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. Is this a dull offense? Yes. And it will be another punt. Be another punt. Dallas now will get the ball back. 45. And it is average field position. Yep. Here we go. That takes care of the third quarter. Wow. 5, 5, 6. Shaky offense. Dallas, no. No, I'm sorry. 5, 5. Is it 5, 5, 5, 5, 6? Poor field position. No. Touchdown pass, Dallas. Touchdown pass, Danny White. Now let's see if we're going to take 2.5 extra minutes. It will. So this will actually be counted as the fourth quarter. So we'll do that then. We'll count this as fourth quarter. And be a touchdown. White to who? I don't know. We got to see. White to Drew Pearson. Drew Pearson. Extra point attempt. They've already missed one. 65. Ooh, just barely good. And now it is 16-7. Giants now get the ball. 11. Poor field position for the Giants. Okay, here goes. 2-2-6. 2 dots. 2 dots. 2-2-6. Secure offense. No. Passive defense. No fumble. It's going to be a fumble. Boy, oh boy. Let's make sure it's a turnover first. 3. It will be average field position for Dallas. Now let's see who gets it. 2. Dutton. John Dutton. All right. Dallas gets the ball right back. Here we go. 3 is 2 dots. 1-3-5. 1-3-5. Fumble for them. Wow. And before we check that, let's make sure about the run back. 6. Another 6 will be a touchdown. 2. It's going to be great field position for who? New York Giants. Yes, we know that. 11. Kennard. Terry Kennard. Ended up running it back a ways. And they're down now 16-7. Almost about half of the fourth quarter's over. And that's going to take care of 4 minutes. 4 dots. 4, 5, 6. Another interception. Unbelievable. Just so many turnovers this game. It's crazy. Plus, we got to see if it's another 6, it's over. If it's another 6, the game's over with. It is. Game will end right there. End of game. And then it'll end at 16-7. But we will see who gets the interception for Dallas. 7. Downs. Michael Downs. That's 2 for him today. Wow. All right. So that ended that game. Ended that one 16-7 is the way that game ends. All right. Now, how about Eagles and Broncos? The Eagles actually won this game, even though they were not a very good team. Eagles and Broncos. Eagles and Broncos. There's Denver. There's Philadelphia. All right. Neither one's very good teams. Let's be for real about it. But Denver does have some running back, have some run back things with punt returners. So, all right. So that was a week 3 game. This is a week 3 game. Week number 3. And if somebody wants to come in and have a chat, we can have a chat too. Cody, everybody's saying Cody's going to WWE. He ain't going to WWE. They still got her picture up on the website. They still got her picture up on the website, AEW. They wouldn't have her picture up on the AEW website if they were leaving. So let me just tell you that one now. So we'll see what you guys say about that. But they're definitely not going to WWE. Not happening. Because number one, WWE would, they would try to hold it as low as possible before WrestleMania. But nah, it ain't happening. And I don't think it will anyway. All right. Denver, the home team. Denver's a home team. There you go right there. They get the dot. Philadelphia, they don't get the green this game. Okay? Here we go. And Philadelphia, the Eagles will get the ball first, though. So Philly gets the ball with a 2-2. What's up, Anthony? And let's invite some people on here. You can come on. You can come on here while I'm playing a game. You can do color. It's awesome. Yeah. Did anybody see this deal where Washington's actually thinking about giving San Francisco a 1 Guido? I can't believe that. Yeah, let's send Harris 1. Guess he's around, and Keith. Yeah, all right. If the jabronis come in if they want to, yeah. All right, that's cool. Chilling in the jacuzzi, ain't nothing wrong with that. There we go. All right, so it's the Eagles-Broncos. Eagles have the ball, average field position. We're ready to go. 1983, Marion Campbell coached the Philadelphia team to a 5-11 record. And Denver, with Dan Reeves, I think they made the playoffs 9-7. I'm not sure if they did or not. I think they made a wild card. So we'll see. We'll see right here what happens. Philadelphia has the ball, opening kickoff here at Mile High. Went to the first Super Bowl party. Get treated with terrible roads coming home. Was not a happy man. Oh, man. Yeah. We hung tight here, me and the wife did. And at halftime, I came on and said how great the refereeing was. And by the end of the game, we saw what happened. And we know which team got screwed. Yeah, that was total bullshit. Yeah, I called them on that one too. Everybody has called them on that. That was total garbage. All right, Philadelphia, Denver. Here we go. All right, two dots. And it'll be a 2-3-4. 2-3-4. Do they have a dull or undisciplined offense? They have a semi-dull, but they have a disciplined. Is there a staunch defense? No. Touchdown pass Philly. Dave Little, what's going on? Touchdown pass Philadelphia. Philly with their 5-11 record. Jaworski. All right. Throwing 2. I don't know who. We'll see. Cab. I'm not lying to you. They got somebody named Cab. K-A-B. Don't remember him, but I'm not going to say he wasn't there. An extra point. 12-62. 64, no good. No good. And Philly is up 6-0. Denver now will get their first stab at the offense. We doing a draft show? Yeah, definitely. Definitely. Yes, sir. Definitely. Those fools in New York says there's going to be six quarterbacks in the first round. All I know is if 6 quarterbacks go in the first round, I deserve to be a general manager of some city because none of them are worth taking. It's 6. You got 6 dumbasses going to do it. Yeah, yeah. Vito Cab. Oh, okay. He was a tight end. All right, Vito Cab. Yeah, they're saying it. They're saying 6. They're the last player in the first round. I think goes to it would have been the Rams picking. I think it goes to the Lions. Got the kid from Cincinnati, Desmond Ridder, going first round. I'm like, no damn way, no way. I don't even think two are. I definitely don't. I think a kid from Mississippi is so overrated. I, I, it ain't but one I would take, and I'm not even sure he's first round talent. Yeah. Zeldin. What are you up to, Puck ahead? Hold on for a second. There you go. Yeah, he's gone now. All righty. Denver now. Let's see. 33 average field position. There we go. So, Denver now with the ball. 3 is 2 dots. 235. Interception. Denver already. Next year's quarterback class is going to be. Oh, yeah. No doubt about it. Yeah. They even have Sam Howell going in the top 15. If somebody takes Sam Howell in the top 15, I'm telling you, boy, I want to see what they're drinking. Interception. Let's see what happens here. 8. Logan. All right. And let's see what they're going to do as far as a run back. 4. Great field position for Philadelphia. So Philly is playing well here. Philly's playing well. All right. 6-0. 3 dots. Over half of the first quarter is done. 3-5-6. Prolific offense. Philadelphia is not that. Inept defense. Nope. Punt in the coffin corner. Thurston Howell. Sam Howell is, yeah. Oh, Sidney Crosby scored his 500th tonight. That's cool. Coffin corner, 53. 53 average field position for Denver. All right, here we go. Yep, congrats to him. 3, 4, 4. It takes us below 5 minutes first quarter. 3, 4, 4. Secure or home offense. Denver is a home offense. Be a punt. 66. Put them. That'll be great field position for Philly. Great field position, Philly. 1 dot. It'll be a 1-2-5. 1-2-5, I think, is it a solid offense? Let's see. Solid by Philly? No. Punishing defense? No. It's just going to be a straight up punt. All right. 12. Ooh. Roll. Okay, so now we have to roll D6, odd result. So dot, he's going to be in the open. Yes, he's in the open. Now, in the open, a 5 or a 6 now is a touchdown for Denver. 6. Punt, return, touchdown. How about punt, return for touchdown? And we'll give one of their receivers the credit. 9. Right. How about that? Right. Extra point attempt, and they can actually take a lead. It's 6-0 is the score right now. 12-65 for them. 31. Yeah, that's good. 7-6. 7-6. Only 2 dots left to go in the quarter. 32. Average field position. Let's see what's going to happen now. 6. So it is 7-6 after 1 quarter. We know that. And now we start the second quarter right here. So if this is a score here, it'll be second quarter score. That'll be on the dot. 1-5-6. Poor field position is not an issue. No. Great field position. No, it's going to be a fumble. It's going to be a fumble on Philly. Fumble on Philly. Let him run it back. Oh, okay. Another 6 would be a touchdown. No. I was wondering if everything's going to be special teams for them tonight. Great field position, Denver. And let's see who recovers. A fumble. 5. Randy Gradishar. A little overrated, I think, in his day. I think he was a good linebacker, but I don't think he was as good as a lot of people thought he was. All right. Denver, great field position. 4. 2 dots. 4-4-6. This could be good. Poor field position. New. Great quarterback moves out of the pocket, fires it to the end zone. Touchdown pass, Denver. Touchdown pass. Is this Elway? It indeed is Elway. And who is he throwing it to? I don't know. How am I supposed to know that? Number 7. Poole. Elway to Poole. Extra point attempt can make it 14-6. 12-65. 54, it's good. And it is now 14-6. Denver. Philadelphia now will get the ball back. 15. Roll 1d6 on an odd result, he'll be in the open. So let's see if it's in the dot. If it's a dot, he'll be in the open. He is in the open. 5 or 6 will be a kickoff return touchdown. No. Great field position, Philadelphia. Great field position, Philadelphia. All right, 3. Half of the second quarter's over with. I'll get that right in a minute. 1, 2, 3. Poor field position. No. Great field position. Yep. Touchdown pass. Touchdown pass, Philly. And that'll be Jaworski. And who caught it? Number 10. Cab again. How about that? 2 touchdown receptions for him. Probably most he ever had in a game. 2 extra point. 12-62. 42 is good. 14-13 to score. Denver with the ball right now. 12. Great field position. Great run back. All right, let's see what they can do now. 3. That'll take us to 5 minutes left to go. First half. 2-3-3. Solid offense by Denver? No. Mild defense? No. Be a punt. 14-13 is the score. They're going to punt back to Philadelphia with 5 minutes left to go in the half. 11. 11 on a punt. Is a team electric? They are not. Average field position, Philly. All right. That took care of half of the 5 minutes. There, 2.5 minutes left to go. 1, 2, 3. Is this poor field position? No. Great field position? No. It's going to be a fumble. Fumble. Let's see who's going to recover it for Denver. 2. Carter. Carter recovers it. Now can they run it back? Get a 6 you can. They didn't get a 6. Average field position, Denver here in the second quarter. A 5 or 6 ends a half. 5. End of half. And boy, what a nice half of football. 14-13. Philadelphia had the ball first. So in the second half, Denver will receive the football. 14-13. And we are ready now. 15. Roll a D6. They could be in the open, so okay. It's a dot. It's got to be a dot, though. It's not. Average field position, Denver. All right, here we go. 1-2-2, so it'll be 2 dots here in the third quarter. 1-2-2. Is this a home defense? No. Philadelphia is. Stiff defense? No. Field goal attempt. Field goal attempt. This could be big because every point's going to make a difference. Field goal attempt. 12-56. 14 is good. It's good. And now Denver's up 17-13. Philadelphia now will get the ball back. 12. Great field position on the kickoff. So they get some good kickoff returns tonight. 6. That's going to be boom, 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 boom. 5 minutes minimum. 5 minutes minimum. 4-5-6. 4-5-6. Season prior to 87 it is. Interception. Interception, Philadelphia. All right. So first off, let's see about the clock. It'll be extra 2.5 minutes. We don't know. No. Now, let's see who gets it for Denver. 4. Foley. Mick Foley. No, Steve Foley, I think is his name. And now let's see about a run back possible. 2. Average field position for Denver. And we're about halfway through the third quarter. 17-13. Down to 5 minutes left to go. We got a 3-5. Do we have great field position? You got average field position. This is going to be a punt and coffin corner. Punt. 62. Coffin corner will just be an average punt. Average. Philadelphia gets the ball. And here we go. It'll be 4. It'll be 2 dots. 2.5 minutes left to go. 4-4-6. 4-4-6. Poor field position. No, it's average. Quarterback moves out of the pocket. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Touchdown, Philly. That's a pass by Jaworski. Now, is that tight end going to catch it once more? I'm going to say no, not this time. It would have to be a 10. It's a 7. Harold Carmichael. Carmichael scores it. Extra point attempt's big here. Extra point attempt. They need it to make it a 3-point game. 12-62. 32. Good. And it is 20-17. With Denver now getting the ball with 2.5 minutes left to go. Now 54. Average field position, Denver. Here we go. And now we're done with the third quarter. So we have to put just the Eagles get another touchdown. That makes 20. And Broncos get a field goal. That makes 17. And right here will be 1 dot into the fourth quarter. All right, so it is fourth quarter time now. 4-5-6 Denver. Interception. Oh, my gosh. What a way to start the quarter, right? Interception. And let's see who for Philadelphia gets it. 12. Fouls. Fouls. That's fouls. Yeah. Interception return? No, but it is a good one, though. Great field position, Philadelphia, starting the fourth quarter. 2 dots. 255. 255. Is this a staunch defense? No. Is this great field position? It is. Touchdown run. Touchdown run. So, not a pass by Philadelphia. It's a run this time. It's a run by number 6, Oliver. Oliver got it. And it's going to be an extra point attempt, and they can make it 27-17. 55 is good. And it will be 27-17 in Denver now. Denver has no time to play around. See what they can do. 43, average field position. Here goes. Two, 4, 5. Is this a dynamic offense? Soft defense? Is this a porous offense? It is a porous offense. Punt. It's semi-porous. It's a punt. So, Eagles will get the ball back up 10. 65. Great field position for them. They would love to waste a lot of clock here if they could. And it's only one dot. It's all he wasted. 1-3-5. 1-3-5. Fumble. Fumble. And now Denver needs to run this one back. They need to run this ball back if they could. Denver. Who's going to recover it? I don't know. 7. Tom Jackson. Tom Jackson recovers it. Can he run it back? It is 6. 5. Great field position for Denver, but that's about all we can say. Can they go Hail Mary right here? Roll 3. They're an efficient team too, so they can do it. It's a little early. Let's it's still 6 minutes something left, and it's 10-point game. We'll give them a chance. That took half of it there. 5-5-5. Poor field position? No. Unusual result? B. Oh my gosh. Unusual result? B. Let's see what that says. 34. 3 incomplete passes along with 3 offensive penalties. The offense must punt. They're backed up. They don't have a choice. They got to go for it. They got to go for it. 4th down, going for it. 4th down. They're going to go for it. 5. Are they at home defense? No. Otherwise, receiver makes spectacular catch and coverage. All right, now, they have got to go for a desperation play. And how do they do it? They have to roll 3 dice, and it has to add up to 8 for a touchdown. Otherwise, the game is over, it says. How about that? 8. 3 and 5 is 8 plus 1 is 9. Game is over. They tried. I mean, they had to. That was two dots there. Game over. They had to give it a shot. 27-17. Eagles scored again. Broncos didn't score at all. 27-17 is the way that one ended. All right. And the Eagles won that one in real life 13-10. 27-17. And got some more games up in the third. I mean, Week 3 coming up for you this week. But right now, we'll just talk to you a little bit. And if anybody would like to come online, let's invite Dave. Let's invite Big Paulie. Let's invite a few people. See who would like to come on tonight with us. Maybe shoot the garbage with us. Shoot the crap, as we like to say. We don't like to be too serious here. All right, Dave. Dave Little, we got him. Big Paulie, yeah. Let's get him in here if he wants to. Both of those guys are here. Yeah, Dave Little, definitely join us. I have, how many seasons do I have? I still got to get the college rules. I don't have those yet. That's ones Dave Little should have. I got the 1999 set. 1999, that was the 1 yard line deal. 1986, I got that set. I got the 2007 set, the undefeated season set. And here comes Tim. 2007 set, the undefeated. And a 2021 set for college football this year. 12-2 San Diego State. And the 83 set, the one I'm playing. How you doing, Tim?
I'm just happy I don't have to make any more bad NFL picks anymore.
Oh, hell, you did great this year.
Playoffs, I was terrible.
I did pretty good on the road. I picked a lot of road teams there, but I don't feel too bad about that Super Bowl pick after seeing the last 2.5 minutes of the game. That was just how do you feel about the way it ended?
I mean, could you say that it was a makeup call for that mauling that T. Higgins gave Ramsey for the touchdown?
But that's really not the time to do a makeup call. I mean, at the 8 yard line, 6 yard line. I mean, come on, that was just
25 years ago. That's called a good play. Now it's called pass interference.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. Go back and watch some of the hits from the 80s when they actually came in there. And I mean, leading with the head was nothing. Leading with the head, that was they didn't care. That was just part of the game.
And we were lucky we didn't have about 20 Ryan Shaziers in the 80s.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. I understand that too. But I think they call it too tight now. It's just, I mean.
Every play there's holding, and every play there's probably either illegal contact or pass interference.
Yep. You're right. Yeah.
I mean, honestly, the worst part was, so at the party that I went to, every scoring play, they filled Jell-O, don't know if it had vodka in it or not, into like plastic syringes, and they did Jell-O shots.
And it didn't matter which team scored.
Right.
Oh,
and then after that was done, they went to.
Now, how far were you from home?
About 20 minutes. And did I drink one of them? No. In fact, I did not even have a drop of alcohol.
Oh, really? Very cool. Now, Did you drive all the way, or did you have to ride trains and shit?
No. It's a short 20-minute drive.
Okay.
It's essentially about 3 or 4 turns, pretty much.
Oh yeah. So not in the city then.
Well, it's kind of a. I guess you could call it a mini city. It's not far from Berea, so
yeah. Here we go. What's up, Harris?
What up, guys?
What you up to? What you up to this evening?
Me? Nothing.
You? Yeah.
I am deciding whether I want to continue watching USA Canada women's curling or the Columbus Blue Jackets.
Well, I know 11 o'clock there's a U.S. hockey game on.
Yes, sir.
The women.
Men.
Men tonight, women tomorrow.
And who's playing? Is it U.S.? Both of them U.S. Canada?
No.
Yeah, U.S. and Czechoslovakia, I believe.
It's just, yeah.
So Canadians didn't win, didn't make it with the men.
Well,
Oh,
yeah,
well,
this is the second round. This is quarterfinals.
All right,
They
the
play
women
later.
the women are in their finals already.
Right. They started before the
Oh,
ceremonies,
okay.
remember?
Yeah. Now
They're only using one arena for all the ice hockey.
Oh, really? Who do you think's going to win that women's game? Canada. I can't see Canada losing that.
I'm going to say this: whoever scores the first goal is going to win.
Yeah.
maybe, but I'll say Canada. I'll say Canada beats them by 4 goals. I think they're going to win.
I don't know about that much. It's not going to be.
You give me 4 goals, and I'll take them all day long.
Really? I think they're going to beat them pretty bad. They've scored 10 every game in this tournament. 2.
Oh, they beat us 4-2 in the preliminary.
Yeah.
And you remember we gave up a shorthanded goal in that game too, and also gave up an empty net. So, they played
was
pretty
also
even.
the double post opportunity from the U.S.
Yeah.
Like it was off the post, off the back of the goaltender, off the post again. So
right.
By Rob the way, just got done fast drive football. I just did too. Yeah, I just did a Eagles Broncos. Eagles 27-17. Now, just before that, I did a Cowboys Giants game. 16-7 was that game. So yeah.
Cowboys won, right?
Yep. Dave, you got to go to your email. You got to leave. You got to completely leave. You got to completely leave YouTube. Go to your email, and it'll allow you in here. Yep. That's how it works.
Yep.
Yeah.
Hey, Darius, how are you, sir?
If you stay in YouTube, it never works too good.
Well, it'll work. You just need to kill the volume.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Because we will definitely hear you when you come in here. Yeah, we do hear that. Yeah, here's that old stupid shit I can't stand, flipping and spinning and all that. Now, if they were racing down the hill doing that shit, yeah, that'd be all right. But they get time too, I think. They get time.
No, this one's just the tricks.
Oh, it's just tricks
Yeah,
shots here?
Yeah, the one that gets timed is the moguls.
Oh, all right.
The moguls, and then where they have to do this and that, going down over the hills and all that stuff.
That's guys, ain't it?
Yes.
Now, how do you feel about this bullshit that the girls, this girl gets to do us ice skating shit?
The figure skater.
If she wins a medal, they cancel all the medal. They cancel the medal. Right. No ceremony. So if you're an American girl and you get silver or bronze, you're coming home without a ceremony. That's bullshit.
Well, I think before the Olympics are over and done with, they will have those ceremonies in place. They're going to wait until after the ladies are all around and decide what they're going to do, if they're going to suspend her or not. Because right now you're looking at the ROC losing a team medal.
Yeah.
Which, I don't understand why they're taking so long in making a decision. It should have been over and done with.
Number one, she shouldn't have been.
Look,
they should have sent her home.
If it was an American, they'd already thrown her out.
Yeah.
Guaranteed.
Yeah. You're right. They're not playing around.
And then you got Sha'Carri Richardson going, yeah, I did marijuana because I was dealing with stress, and yet this, because she's underage, gets a free pass.
Right. Yeah.
Oh, she is hot.
Yeah, she's pissed. Yeah. I'd heard about that. That's one from Summertime.
Yep.
Yeah, I heard about that. Let's see. Let me send Dave a little. Send it to him again. So, Dave, what you have to do is leave here, go to your email, and just I hope like heck I got the right email address. But
that would help.
I gotta stop. Yeah, it would. I generally do. Generally do. I still got week 3. I got the Chargers Seahawks coming up. Vikings Buccaneers. And then Monday night, Dolphins, Raiders. Raiders Super Bowl champion. Are they 2-0 right now? Let's see if they are. Raiders. The Raiders. They beat the Oilers week 2. I think they won it week 1. Yeah, they beat Cincinnati by 6 points in the first game. So they can stay undefeated too. And yeah. So Washington is 3-0 in my replay right now. Here comes Dave. Dave Little. Here he comes.
In here?
Here's Dave. Yeah.
Here's Dave.
Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Can you hear? Can you hear us?
Never done this before. Yeah, I can hear fine.
Yeah. It's works out pretty good. I got this for a year. I can have 9 guests on here at one time, so we can.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, so you can kind of do the what do they say, the Brady Bunch. You just don't want to be the one in the middle, the maid, whatever.
Yeah, right.
Alice.
Alice. Yeah, you don't want to be Alice. Yeah, it's funny. But yeah, how you been doing?
Good. All good here, man.
All right. How about the weather up there? Is it cold?
It's all right. It's about 20 degrees today and cold, but not miserable here in Madison, Wisconsin.
Snow on the ground?
A little bit. It's hasn't snowed in a few days. We got a little bit over the weekend, but we haven't had nearly the amount of snow we get in some winters.
Oh, okay. And in Tim right now, what's it looking like up in Cleveland area?
It's about to hit 50 for the next 2 days.
Nice.
Yeah.
Thank God. Well, yeah. The let's just say it was I don't think the road crews were ready for the snow on Sunday night because it was a little treacherous getting home.
Really? Oh, okay. Yeah, it's currently 35 here. It's supposed to get 58 here tomorrow. 70 by the weekend. So here in Virginia, we still got snow and ditches here, but that's about it. Where do you think Russell Wilson plays in 2022? Darius Montre says, one of 3 places for Russell Wilson. Seattle's the most likely place. I think he's more likely to stay at home. If not, I think there's a chance he goes to Tampa, and then a slight chance that he could go to Pittsburgh. We'll see what happens there. Tampa's going to get them an experienced quarterback. They're not going to draft one. They're going to get an experienced guy, whether it's Russell Wilson, whether they go after Kyler Murray, or they go after the kid that's going to get released this week, which they'll release him if Washington's not stupid enough to send him a first-round pick like idiots.
Rob, there's another rumor, Jameis Winston possibly going back to Tampa.
Won't happen.
I've heard that.
Happen. I don't think it'll happen.
I've heard it.
Yeah, I don't think they want Mr. 30-30 back. I just don't see that happening. Dave, how did you like the Super Bowl over the weekend?
It was, it was disappointing, but heck, the Bengals were in the Super Bowl. Can't complain about that.
Yeah.
The Bengals defense had a chance to get a stop, and they couldn't get a stop.
Yeah.
The Rams defense needed a stop. They got the stop. That was all it came to.
The only issue I have with the entire game was the way it was officiated. The first 3.5 quarters, they let them play. The last 3 minutes, they didn't want anybody touching anybody.
Yeah, that was a little bit frustrating, but the Bengals had they had them backed up. What was it, like the 20-yard line or something, 25 when they started? Yeah. They gave them, the first 70 yards. I'm not going to complain about the last 5 yards. You had 3rd and long a couple of times and could have gotten off the field and didn't. So, give them credit and give Cooper Kupp credit, that little white son of a gun that kept.
Now, if we go back to the predictions we made, okay, who did I say would be the MVP if the Rams won?
You said Kupp would, yeah.
I called it.
Yeah. It was looking so good for Beckham to be the MVP until he.
Oh, I know.
Beckham's neat. Yeah,
you did say Beckham, didn't you, Tim?
I did, and
now, was that I mean, what kind of knee?
I haven't heard what the injury is
anything.
yet.
I haven't either.
Well, Burrow sprained his knee, but thankfully it's not a tear or anything. So that's
Right.
Oh yeah,
Right.
I knew he was hurt. I mean,
Yeah.
Mhm.
We lose Harris there for a second. Dave,
Yeah,
the
the Bengals will be back. You know, the Bengals are going to go get an offensive lineman or two.
Well, they better
know,
get themselves some
be
offensive
prepared.
line. But
the Rams are one and done, you know, because Whitworth's gone, Aaron Donald's probably gone, or
Yeah.
maybe.
and
retired.
even
Donald is
Miller.
retiring.
Von Miller.
Von
Von
Miller's
Miller's
retiring,
probably
so-
leaving. No, he's leaving. He's going to leave.
Oh, he's
Um,
leaving.
Yeah, they're saying.
I mean, you know, good for them. They built their team to win a Super Bowl. They won their Super Bowl. I'd love, you know, a lot of players on that team I like. I got no, you know, I got no anger for the Rams.
It's going to be hard. That there's
Good
at
for them.
least 4 or 5 teams:
stop.
Buffalo, Kansas City, Cincinnati.
Oh, it's going to be. How much fun are we going to have the next 5 years watching Mahomes and Josh Allen and Joe Burrow go back and forth?
Yeah,
That's going to be great
nuts.
fun.
Well,
Yeah.
I'm going to say it right now. Next year, you'll have 2 different teams in the Super Bowl. Neither one of those 2 teams is going to win their conference.
We'll
You
see.
think Kansas City's coming back, or what do you think?
I think
that?
Kansas City will try to make a comeback, but I think after the
Buffalo.
way things went down there at the end, I think that locker room's a little split right now.
We'll see what happens with Buffalo. I think Buffalo's a team to beat next year. I really do.
I think Buffalo's the team that has built for not just the immediate future, but for 3 or 4 years down the road.
Yeah.
I would like to see them upgrade a little bit in running back and possibly wide receiver. Well, you got Diggs, but I'd like to get a number 2.
It wouldn't hurt to get a good tight end. Good tight end's always hard to find. I mean, we'll see what happens.
And New England's not going to be able to sleep on next year with Mac Jones.
Yeah, no, they're not. Today, the mock draft on ESPN has 6 quarterbacks going in the first round. 6.
I don't see 6 quarterbacks being drafted at all.
Desmond Ridder going to the Rams with the last pick in the first round. I'm thinking to myself, Desmond Ridder of Cincinnati, there's no way he's going in the first round. Not a chance. But the funniest part of all was the number 3 pick in the draft. They got the kid from Liberty going number 3.
Who's that? Coral or Corral or
no. Malik Willis, the kid from Liberty.
I'm thinking the other guy. Okay.
Yeah, Matt Corral.
Yeah.
But they got like 3 or 4 going ahead of him. They got let's see. They got Malik Willis. They got the kid from Pittsburgh. Kid from Pittsburgh going, then Corral going, and then I saw it today. It was 5 or 6 in the first round. I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. I just can't imagine that. Harris said a month ago, he said he didn't think none of them are first round talents. I don't think, but
I don't think so.
No, but
I think if any of them, I think Pickett could be.
Yeah, and Pickett, I think is a chance he could do it.
Pickett should be the first quarterback taken off the board.
Yeah. I know you keep up with basketball, Dave. What NBA team right now impresses you as far as who they picked up here close to the deadline, what's happening? LeBron and company, are they legit? Are they a team that can go out here right now, go through the first round, run through it, and just be like, okay, we might lose 1 or 2 games in the whole playoffs and run through them?
The Lakers? No.
Yeah, don't think so.
I think they're a mess.
Really?
There are good teams in the West that are ahead of the Lakers, even when they're healthy.
Well,
Russell Westbrook is a dumpster fire.
I agree.
No.
I wouldn't want him on my team, would you?
No, he's in his own head right now.
Right. Who's worse right now, him or Simmons?
I mean Simmons.
Simmons is a good player,
Simmons-
but he's out there too, though.
Yeah, but Simmons on the Nets with
Okay.
Kyrie and Durant, where he doesn't have to be a scorer.
Yeah.
That's a pretty good look.
Now, people were talking about, well, you got Simmons and we got Harden, but they don't talk about what else they gave up. I mean, they gave up another number one too, right?
Yeah. They paid a lot for Harden.
Yeah.
I think Brooklyn did well with what
I
they
agree.
got out of that deal.
I think Brooklyn did great with that situation. I think they did too.
Yeah.
Now, let me ask you this: which team's better right now?
Between who? Brooklyn and
Philly.
Brooklyn.
I agree too. I agree.
But I think Milwaukee's still going to beat both of them.
Really? Now,
Yeah.
do you think Milwaukee repeats?
They can. Yeah.
You think he could?
I think Milwaukee's coming out of the East.
I think somebody in the West wins this year, though. I think.
I can't guarantee Milwaukee will win the finals, but they will come out of the East.
How you like Phoenix right now?
Solid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Solid at every position.
Darius has got the Warriors up right now. I like Phoenix better than the Warriors right now.
Yeah.
I do. How about you, Tim?
I mean, to me, I think Phoenix is to me, Golden State's still depending on the three. I think that Phoenix is a better all-around team, and that's not saying meaning that Golden State's chopped liver.
Yeah.
And the other thing with the East, though, you're 1 through 5 is like a game and a half separated.
Yeah.
With Cleveland.
Is Chicago still number 1 right now?
Let me look up the standings. They're pretty close.
They were number 1 a week ago, but it changes so often. I don't even know anybody plays for Chicago. How
right, so
are they doing it?
East are actually by a half a game.
I actually didn't work the game. I didn't work the game when Orlando played Chicago, so I couldn't tell you who's on the team.
Are they smoking?
The guy that's tearing it up for Chicago right now is DeRozan.
Yeah.
Oh,
DeRozan and Zach LaVine.
He's
DeRozan tearing it up.
DeRozan, is he the kid that came from Toronto?
Yes.
Yeah, he went. Yeah, he was in Toronto, and then he played in San Antonio for a year or two after they traded him for Kawhi Leonard.
Okay.
And now he wound up in Chicago, and he is
the real deal.
He is so efficient and such a good ball player.
Yeah,
and
I've always said,
and they've got Vucevic inside, so Chicago's tough.
LaVine is he the kid that came from Orlando?
No,
Zach LaVine.
Zach LaVine. Okay, I don't guess I know him. Who was the kid that came from Orlando and won the big dunk contests all the time? What was his name?
Oh, Dwight Howard?
No,
this kid.
Aaron Gordon.
Yeah. Now where's he at now? Where is he at now?
He's in Denver.
Oh, is he in Denver?
Yeah.
Okay. So how's he play? Is he a decent player now, or is he kind of a bench player?
He's real good. He's good for Denver because he plays alongside Jokic.
Oh,
and of course, everything runs through Jokic and Gordon.
So he's a big rebounder and gets a lot of points inside. Okay. Yeah. I saw him in the dunk contest a few years ago, and I was thinking to myself, if the kid can dribble at all and can move around the court at all, he should be an asset to any team because, boy, oh boy, he's really fit. I mean, you can look at his body and tell he's a physical guy. He's just wow. Darius Montre says his MVP so far is Embiid. Dave?
Can't argue with that.
I'm good with that.
How about how's the kid from Golden State playing?
Curry?
Yeah, how is Curry? I mean, is he averaging 25 a night now?
Curry is still a superstar. He's still the best shooter in the game. It's what's he got left around him? They just got Klay Thompson back.
Okay.
A few weeks ago. And
do they have a kid inside? Do they have a kid from Michigan State inside?
They got Draymond Green, yeah.
Okay, well that's 3 right there. I don't know who else they got, but that's pretty good triples.
Yeah, they got Andrew Wiggins, who has played real well, just in a more limited role. When he was in Minnesota and he was shooting 30 times a game, he didn't. He looked bad, but they've got him in Golden State now, and he's more of a 3-and-D guy, and he's really been helping out. And
yeah, I remember when Wiggins came into the league. Everybody's expecting him to be the next Michael Jordan, and didn't look so good.
Now, how big is he? Is he about 6'7", 6'8", or is he shorter?
Yeah, he's a 6'7", 6'8" guy.
Okay. Now, they've got him in a good spot. Do they have a 7-footer? They
got Looney.
Does he start?
Kevon Looney out of rim protector, good inside player,
and he starts.
Yeah, I think he starts.
Okay,
and he's a Milwaukee kid, so we've known about Looney for a long time. He's good fit for that team.
Right. Okay. Warriors have missed Draymond Green in the last 19 games. Oh, okay. So, wasn't he number 2 pick in the draft? Michael Peterson says.
Andrew Wiggins, I believe.
Wiggins was number 1 overall.
Yeah, Wiggins was 1.
And that was in, 2016? I want to say 2016.
16 or 17, I believe.
I want to say 2016.
2014, actually.
2014.
That long ago.
He was the number 1 pick. Who was number 2 behind him?
Let me pull up the 2014 NBA draft here.
Oh,
this is not my strong suit here for remembering NBA drafts. Heck, Jabari Parker was number 2, and Embiid was 3.
No, Jabari Parker. Yeah, he came out of Duke. Now, he was playing in like Milwaukee or something at one time. Is he anywhere now? Or is he retired?
I think he's just coming back, but he's not the athlete he once was.
Really?
Still a heady player, but he got injured and didn't pan
out. I saw the interview with JJ Redick. I guess it's been about 3 weeks ago now, where he went 1-on-1 with old Stephen A. Smith. Did you see that?
I didn't see that, but he's a good talker. He's fun to listen to.
Yeah. He used to be a big talker because he's played here in Virginia, and he's the one that threw 54 points up in 3 quarters against a team I knew, a high school team I knew, and they only played 8-minute quarters. So you throw 54 on the board on somebody, you're doing something. Yeah, with no shot clock. Also working on mock baseball drafts, says Michael Peterson.
Yeah, mock baseball draft and hot wrestling news.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's another thing I want to talk to you about. True or false, Dave? And I'm calling it right now false ahead of time. Rhodes is going to leave AEW.
Yeah, he's left. He left. Yeah,
he's gone. Done.
They're still on the website. Their pictures are still on the website.
Done.
I mean, it just was announced yesterday or today.
Yeah, but I think he's coming back as a heel role. That's what I think. I think
you know who the next guy to leave AEW is going to be, don't you?
Chris
Jericho. Yeah, but right now
tomorrow night's going to be the end of the Inner Circle.
Jericho has been in touch with Vinnie Mac.
I keep hearing Rhodes is laying low and talking all this stuff about going to the WWE stuff.
Well, Brandy's the one doing all the talking.
Yeah, well, she might be doing it or whatever.
Well, she doesn't belong anywhere near a wrestling ring.
No, she doesn't.
I mean, if she wants to be an executive, that's good on her. But
yeah, you're right.
What's happening in AEW is that AEW has been around for 3 years.
Yeah,
and all the guys that came in, and Tony Khan signed them all to 3-year deals.
Mm-hmm.
All those deals are expiring.
Yeah,
and they've got enough new talent that they don't need to re-sign every guy they signed 3 years ago, just to get the thing started. So, I mean, they took care of these people. They paid them through the pandemic, and they're not firing them and releasing them and cutting them out of their contracts, but
Yeah.
Contracts are expiring and they're not going to get re-signed, and so there's going to be more than Cody and Jericho on their way out of AEW.
But I'm gonna say he's coming back. I'm gonna say within the next few weeks he comes back in a role totally different. I don't know what it'll be. He might shave his head. I don't know what he might do. But I think he's gonna come back in a heel role.
Stranger things could happen, but I see him going back to WWE. But stranger things could happen.
We can see. And ROH, I see they started their website back up, and
Good.
that's real good because to me, that's the best wrestling of all of it. I would if I'm turning the TV on and you give me a choice of AEW, ROW, or WWE, that's not even a choice, man. I love Ring of Honor.
Give me New Japan.
Oh, that they're part of that. They mess with New Japan when they do it, but I enjoy the Ring of Honor all the time.
Huge Ring of Honor fan. I lived in Dayton, Ohio, and they had Ring of Honor twice a year for the first 15 years. And I went to a lot of those shows.
And in Philly, they always they were down there in Philly all the time. They were down
in Baltimore all the time. I used to go down there to the
Baltimore Civic Center.
Yeah, no, they weren't even there. They were a smaller place.
Were they?
Yeah, they used to always run Dayton on a Friday night and Chicago on a Saturday night. And Kevin Steen would get up there and say, "There's nothing going to happen tonight. It's Dayton and it's Friday night. All the good stuff happens in Chicago." And people would boo him, and it was hilarious.
Oh man!
And now they want to put. Speaking of Kevin Steen, Kevin Owens. I hope they don't go through with this with Stone Cold Steve Austin. I really don't.
What are they going to do? Put him
up against
matchup, I guess.
Put him up against old Big Muscles. What's his name? I can't think of his name.
The problem is that there was supposed to be the Shane McMahon was supposed to be against Kevin Owens, but he went all old school milk commercial and got too big, head too big.
Yeah. So they're going to have Austin and Owens at WrestleMania or what?
Yeah, allegedly. I don't see it happening. I'll be honest with you. Like, if they want Steve to be there, if he wants to do an on-screen,
I listened to Austin's podcast, and he is not itching to get back in the ring. He's very happy. No. He's late 50s. He's about my age, and he's happy to be done and hunt and fish and do his podcast.
He's once a year thing from WWE.
Yeah.
And needless to say, he probably makes more money in in all of his T-shirts than we probably do. So that's a big money maker for them.
And then over the weekend, NWA Matt Cardona wins the NWA World Heavyweight Championship. He beats Trevor Murdoch.
Okay.
Yep. So he's now the NWA World Champion. Let's see.
How many titles does he have now? Because I thought he was the GCW champion as well.
GCW champion is that other guy now. The guy from AEW. The guy that's hurt.
Kenny Omega?
Not Omega.
No.
No, the one his wife works there. Shit. What's his name? He's been hurt for the last...
Oh, not Danhausen.
No. This guy right here was one of the first. Moxley. He's GCW champion.
Oh, okay.
Moxley's GCW champion. And then... what's his name? He's some other champion, some other place though. GCW, or is it GCW or CZW? Something like that.
GCW is Game Changer Wrestling, which
I think maybe
death matches with.
All right, maybe that's CZW. Maybe it's CZW. That's what's his name's the champion of. The one I was just talking about. Maybe Moxley. Maybe that.
That could be. I'll admit though, Tony Khan's smart. Also, that Yeah, Brian Cage, you don't want to be on TV, go to Memphis and go wrestle.
Darius, that's the reason WWE is as bad as it is. When Roman Reigns is your best wrestler, you're in trouble.
And I can't Brock Lesnar is trying to do comedy.
Yeah,
and you take up half an hour doing a quiz bowl on Raw.
Roman Reigns is not not. He's not what you want to have representing you.
Reigns could be the face of the company. They're just not using him the way he should.
Yeah, I don't think he could. I don't think he could be a face of a good company anyway. To me, he's the worst of the three that used to be the Shield or whatever. Both the other two were better guys, wrestlers. And
speaking of which, don't be surprised if Ambrose don't come back next.
He's still.
His contract expires the end of this year.
Yeah, but he's going to go everywhere else.
Yeah. He's gonna try. He's gonna try the circuit, as they say, if he can.
Yeah, he's still working Japan. He's got a title in Japan somewhere.
Yeah, he does.
So, what do you think? Is Vince going to sell WWE?
No,
not now.
No,
maybe the end of the year or 2023, maybe.
Don't forget though. Don't forget he's not making a lot of the calls now that he used to be making.
Oh, Vince is still making all the calls.
Vince is making them all now.
No, the fact is he's got a board. He's got a board of directors now because they are on the stock exchange.
Oh, okay. So corporate stuff maybe, but he's still making all the booking decisions.
Yeah, he's doing
I'm talking about
everything
hiring decisions. I ain't talking about booking decisions. I'm talking about hiring decisions. I'm talking about they're the ones that deciding who's getting on the payroll and who ain't getting on the payroll. Now he may be doing all of the who wins and all that stuff. He may be doing all the behind the scenes stuff.
Well, he's the one deciding who gets released.
He may be doing that, but they're telling him how much money he can spend. They're letting him know that, and that's his deal. I still ain't understood how Tony Khan's making money. I don't understand that at all because they
outrageous ticket prices.
It's not his TV deals.
Yes, it is
because he's not making nothing. His TV
he got $30 million to
his TV deal though they said was a contract that they was like split into fourths or some kind of garbage. So it was originally known as $32 million, and now they're saying it was only $8 million he's getting. So I don't know what the heck is going on with that or what's happening, but he's not.
Okay, but then let's bring up how much money they got for doing Arthur Ashe Stadium and selling out the United Center.
Oh yeah. Now how much did a ticket run you, Tim? Like for where you were sitting, was $100 or $50?
No, it was $76, and I was
76. And
right behind
were you closer to the ring or further from the ring?
Okay, so I was more towards the, I guess we'll say to the right. And if you watch the Bowens Moxley match where they fought in front of the control center, I was a section to the left of that.
All right. So were you on the floor?
Not on the actual floor, but this was
okay.
Been like
so they were, and did from what you saw, do you think they sold 5,000 tickets?
Oh, I'd say it was probably about 8,000 to 9,000 tickets. The problem with the Wolstein Center is that the where they used for the stage when they're playing basketball, that's like a kid's bouncy area because it's way far from the basketball courts. But needless to say that we were comparing when they were there in 2020, they had at least half of the upper level tapered off. That did not happen.
Wow.
Yeah, we're guessing. Let me see if I can pull up the.
Now let me ask you this: their biggest thing of the year is called the All In, right? All In, ain't that okay? Let's say they were to have it in. Let's just for the shits and giggles. Let's say they had it down at his dad's stadium down there. Could they sell out a 50,000 seat stadium? If now let's all the seats up top were $20 or less, and the lower levels were 50 or less, and then the grounds were 200 or less. Could they sell that stadium out if it was like a 4-hour show, and we're talking cage matches and all that type stup? Do you think they could do it?
You'd have to have everybody, and throw in a couple new people. Like you'd have to have Punk, Bryan, or Punk Danielson, Jericho, Omega, Young Bucks, FTR, Lucha Brothers,
and maybe bring some Japanese over.
Yeah,
Okay, but
And
do
then
you
you'd
think
have to you'd have to bring over you might even have to bring over a couple more Japanese women because you have to have a women's match in there.
Yeah.
too.
Do you think? What do you think, Dave? Could they sell it out if they didn't try to mop people up with money?
No,
You don't
not
think they
not
could
a
do
big team like that.
Okay.
You
You
know,
see,
because the
I
way you sell
think
out
they could.
the way you sell out a big stadium like that is you go mainstream pop culture and you bring in Johnny Knoxville and Bad Bunny and all these stars that aren't wrestlers, and that's not what Tony Khan does.
Right.
AEW is wrestling,
Yeah.
and any place you go, you can get 10 or 15,000 real good wrestling fans and put on a real good show and
I got
and book the right size venue to make it work. I don't think AEW in a 50 is. Oh, there we go.
Now how about let's turn the clock forward 5 years. Let's say Moxley and CM Punk are both like, okay, look, we're both at the end of our careers. Let's have a career match in a cage. Agree to it and say, look, this is the end of our career. One of us loses. It'll be a career match, stuff like that. Not in Jacksonville. Let's say it's in a bigger city. You still don't think they could do 30, 35, 40,000? You think maybe Chicago and Soldier Field, they could do 35, 40,000?
I wouldn't even do it in Soldier Field. You probably just as well have it in the United Center.
How many people could fit in Chicago's stadium? I mean, Chicago, the football field, 50? They hold 50,000.
Yeah, probably 50 or more.
Yeah, it holds 50-some thousand. Yeah. Now, how close could they do to filling that up if they had the best card possible that AEW could do? Could they do 30, 35?
I don't know, man, because real wrestling fans don't want to go in a 50,000 seat stadium and be 9 miles away from the ring.
I understand.
Real wrestling fans, you got to put them in a stadium, in a coliseum where they can see what's going on.
I got you. Because if it's even if you think back 30, almost 40 years, when Ric Flair was in Texas Stadium, I mean, we didn't know nothing about it then because it wasn't a pay-per-view event. And that's when he lost the belt to Kerry Von Erich.
Kerry, yeah.
Yeah. And now back then, to me, I think had they had something like a pay-per-view or something, that would have sold. Because WCCW with the Freebirds and Von Erichs, that was as good a feud as there was back in the 80s, I think, for a long time. You agree?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But a lot of that was because it was local. It was Dallas.
Regional. Yes, regional. I understand.
Yeah,
that
Texas loved their Von Erichs, but
yes,
the Von Erichs. When Kerry went to WWE, or WWF, he was
nothing.
Just another guy.
Right, and that's the thing. If it would have been,
he didn't have that Texas appeal of, all
if
the
it
Von
would have been a
Erich kids who grew
pay-per-view,
up in Dallas.
Up in your area, you probably wouldn't have cared about watching it. If it would have been a pay-per-view with Flair and Von Erich, because Flair wrestled here in this Mid-Atlantic area for 15 years.
You wanted to see Flair and Dusty. You wanted to see Flair and Steamboat. You wanted to see
Flair and Race.
Flair matches were about the storyline.
It was, and you wanted to see the Four
Horsemen.
You wanted to see the Four Horsemen. You wanted to see,
if it had been Kerry who went to Atlanta to wrestle, nobody would have cared.
No, exactly right. Flair took it with him. Flair brought since Flair, or even before Flair,
because Flair was the world champion, and everybody in Dallas wanted to see their kid
Exactly.
Still
Just
gets
like
the world champion. That's why
exactly. Just like when he went to
that's why
Florida.
that works.
When he went to Florida, Steve
Yeah.
Kern, he would go wrestle Steve Kern and Barry Windham. He'd go down to Georgia. Tommy Rich. Tommy Rich was the deal there. When he went to everywhere he traveled, and you haven't seen a traveling world champion since him. You really haven't. Nobody that actually. But the fact is, nowadays they can't do that stuff. They don't have.
Well, 30 years ago, when Ric Flair decided to take the NWA belt to.
Oh, I understand that. But yeah, that was all. What do you call it? Contract matters. That's all that was.
Yeah,
and what it was, he came out and said, in order for us to keep the belt, we had to put $24,000 down to keep the belt to be able to carry it with us everywhere. Well, Jim Hurd calls him and says, Flair, turn in the belt. And Flair says, I want my money. And he said, now you ain't getting your money. And so I'm sending Sandy Scott to your house to come get the belt. And he said, yeah, go in and send Sandy Scott wherever you want to. And he said the next day he FedExed that belt up to Connecticut. And the next thing you know, he's up there. I'm the real world champion. I'll never forget when that happened. That was some funny stuff. What was that? 92, 91?
Yeah, around 91, 92.
Yeah.
And they had they had the belt on TV, and they wouldn't show it, and they had to blur the belt on the TV.
Yeah, it was so funny. And then he ends up winning the Royal Rumble, and that was crazy. It was just
that's when Vince started the talent raids, and buying up all the territories, and that was the end of the traveling champion.
Exactly. And if Crockett would have kept his ass in the Carolinas, if he had kept his ass in Maryland, West Virginia, North Carolina, South Carolina, and Georgia and Florida, right here on the coast, they would have had a chance to succeed because they had so much talent. Now, it didn't help none that Magnum TA ended up having an accident in 87 or whatever, because I think he would have been somewhere along the way been a world champion. You agreed?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because he was twice a wrestler. Lex Luger was. I'm sorry, Lex Luger was not a good wrestler. He was a muscle.
No, Luger wasn't a good wrestler, and he wasn't a good personality.
No, he really couldn't. He wasn't good on the mic either.
That's why.
No, it's horrible on the mic. His mic skills are probably the worst that anybody I've ever seen.
Yeah,
that's why he had to turn heel and face every 6 months.
Yeah, right. Because they didn't have a place for him. They didn't have no way for him. Where the tag team division in the 80s, go back and look at what the tag team division had. They had the Road Warriors. All right, Road Warriors. They could have. I don't care. I could have went out there myself with a mask on and looked like Fruit Loop Jr. I could have come in with red, blue eyes or whatever. They wouldn't have cared. Their manager did okay. Now, in the case of Midnight Express, if they didn't have their talker, they wouldn't have been where they were. But Cornette made them. And then the Rock and Roll Express, they were just a hit with the kids and the girls, and that was just that. Between those three tag teams right there,
and the Horsemen,
they had and the Horsemen too. You're right. They had the tag team division sewed up. I don't care. You talk about the Warlord and Barbarian and WWE. You could talk about what's that? They didn't even call themselves sheep herders. They call themselves the
bushwhackers.
Bushwhackers. Yeah, and then the demolition and all that. I'm sorry. All they were all knockoffs of what the of what NWA / WCW was all about. And then once WCW started those Clash of Champions, I thought they were awesome. What'd you think about those, Dave? Yeah. And number one, the first one ever. The one thing that really they lost a lot of credit with me was they're going to put this little kid from the Wonder Years down there on the floor, Was it
Jason Hervey?
Jason,
Hervey.
Jason.
Yeah.
Yeah, then we're gonna put a Playboy model. She's gonna go down here and vote on who she thinks wins, and then Rick Flair was throwing the eyes to him, sticking his tongue out at her and stuff. And she says, "Not like that to Rick Flair." I'm like, "Oh my God, give me a damn break!"
Well, and the funny thing is that Hervey and Bischoff would end up running a production company together.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, Hervey was a legit wrestling fan.
Oh yeah, he was. He
You
was as much of a wrestling fan as that nutbag that won the world championship.
David Arquette.
Arquette, yeah, Arquette's a big wrestling fan, but he just did not need to be in the ring. That was just
hopefully
incredible.
his latest run-in with Nick Gage is finally. He did that to try to prove himself. Like, hey,
okay.
To try to get at least a modicum of, hey, I kind of deserve to, do this.
I like to go back and watch some of the WCW stuff once in a while, and I watched something. I watched something the other day. It was Disco Inferno, and he's coming out there, and he's calling himself Hip Hop. Yeah, he's calling himself Hip Hop Inferno. So he's wearing red, black of the NWO, and they go do 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 do, and he's doing this right here the whole time. They playing the music. Then he walks out there, and then the next thing you know, the next guy, the giant comes out there, and he's smoking a cigarette, and that's when Disco looked at him. He said, "Don't you know that will stunt your growth, you dumbass?"
Good old Glenn Gilbert.
He took that thing and he put it out on his shoulder and he beat the hell out of him. It'll stunt your growth. He was 7'2".
Yeah.
Lord,
And he also had acromegaly, but he got his taken care of. The Andre the Giant disease.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he had acromegaly,
okay.
like Andre the Giant, but he got his taken care of.
It was great, but stuff like it was so funny because I liked watching him. And then
Disco with that European dude, Alex Wright. Remember that?
Alex Wright. Yeah, Alex Wright would do that, and then when he wanted to become bad, Berlin.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, he had a little mustache and a little bit of hair right across his head. Didn't have nothing nowhere else.
He was originally the Wall, but then they finally had to rename him because of when the Berlin Wall fell.
Well, the Wall was his bodyguard.
No, the Wall was another guy. That was
the Wall was his bodyguard, the big huge dude.
Yeah, that was the blonde-headed guy. Yeah, but the Berlin, yeah, he came out there with the Wall. And he went out there and called myself Berlin. But yeah, he would go out there and say, "Alex Wright, das Wunderkind. I am the best wrestler ever. Ric Flair wish he could be good as me." And I was like, "Oh my God!"
See, my problem is that I would like to go back to watch like from '97 until like 01, the second hours in Nitro, because by that point I was already on my way over to the WWF.
Oh really?
Yeah. I don't care what they put although the one time I did when they reformed the Four Horsemen.
Yeah.
I was all over that. Trust me, I wasn't going to miss that one, but. Usually when the first hour of Raw came on, I didn't change the channel from the WWF.
Oh, you see, I've always was a WCW guy. How about you, Dave?
Yeah, I was a WCW guy.
I was too. I liked in '89 when Steamboat. I always loved Steamboat. I mean, I never rooted for him, but he was a heck of a talent. I loved watching him when he came into the area.
Go watch some of him in Stunning Steve Austin's matches in '88 with Steamboat. Oh, those were fantastic.
Yeah, and go back. I'll tell you what, you want to really go back about 10 years prior to that, 12 years prior to that. In the early '80s, he and Jay Youngblood. Man, oh man, Jay Youngblood was. I'm not sure he wasn't more athletic than Steamboat, but boy, oh boy, when they wrestled somebody like the Briscoes, that was actually in Starrcade, the first Starrcade. And that was a good match.
They had a good run with Rick Rude and Manny Fernandez.
Yeah.
Tag team.
Yeah.
Against Youngblood and Steamboat.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. They ran against a few teams.
But my favorite guy to watch in WCW was, besides Flair, was Arn Anderson.
Arn Anderson was awesome.
Best interviews, best matches.
Yes. Well, he's the one that started the Four Horsemen. He actually said something. He went out there and said something about if you don't think the Four Horsemen of the Apocalypse are real, come next week and watch us because we right here. And he said nobody told him nothing to say. He was gold.
Yeah,
on
he
the
just
mic. Tully Blanchard was okay. Arn Anderson was wonderful. Ole was okay. He wasn't great. It was a few people that was. Now I'll tell you somebody that was terrible on the mic. Paul Jones. Paul Jones would stumble and fumble and bumble, but boy, oh boy, in the late 70s, he was fun to watch too. He was one that acted like he knew karate, so he threw the thumb to the throat and stuff like that. And then if you wanted somebody that could wrestle for 45 seconds and could stir a whole crowd up, Jimmy Valiant could do that. Jimmy Valiant could walk out. I don't care who was. You could have put a broom and a mop on it in the other corner. This dude, he was drawing every kid, every mom, every.
He'd wear that bandana out there, and he'd pull his bandana off, and he'd be shaking that hair and that beard all over the place, and
and then when he lost his beard, he's shaking here the whole time. They cutting him his hair and all, shaving his hair and all that. He's doing that kind of stuff. I'm thinking pure gold, because he was not a good wrestler. He was not, but boy, was he a good talent. I'll tell you somebody else that could draw a crowd, stir a big crowd up was Ricky Morton. Ricky Morton could do it. Boy, oh boy. Ricky Morton was 5'9", weighed 175 pounds. I mean, Rey Mysterio was big as he was, and he could, and he still wrestles.
Ricky Morton was the famous babyface in peril.
Yeah.
It was every time. The first 5 minutes of the match, he would do nothing but lay there and get his butt kicked, and all the
Robert had to come in and save him. Yeah.
Well, you talk about getting the crowd all roared up and all. I mean, there were two managers who were great with it, and that was Bobby Heenan and Jimmy Hart.
Yeah, they were good at it, but I really think Cornette. I think Cornette was the best wrestler ever. I mean, best manager ever. Who you think it was, Dave?
Either Cornette or Heenan. Cornette and Heenan are 1 and 2.
Yeah, I like Heenan.
Yeah.
I'll throw honorable mention. No offense. Paul Heyman's later career has pushed him up with what he did with
Paul Heyman today is more entertaining than 90% of the wrestlers in WWE.
And the one thing that gets me is and I'll kind of decide, and then I got unfortunate news bit for when they're the heels, but yet they have the DMD or the chantable phrase. No, that's not what you're supposed to do as a heel.
Right.
And then, unfortunately, the referee, Mickey Henson, passed away today. Mickey J. From
I heard that on YouTube. Bill Apter.
59.
59 years old.
Cause of death. But man,
I read that it was COVID.
Oh, was it COVID? Okay.
But he had cancer, and he had survived cancer.
Yeah, that's kind of
COVID got him.
Brian Hildebrand, Brian Curtis story there. You know, I still love this. When Brian Curtis took care of a fan that rushed the ring, and he put him in a headlock, and he's like, "Dude, I've got you. You've got me by this much, but I'm taking care of your ass right now."
I saw that. That's on YouTube. It was Malenko and Psychosis were wrestling. And this little dude comes into the ring, and the ref takes him down, and Malenko goes over to check on him, and Curtis says, "Don't worry, I got this. You go wrestle, and I'll take care of this jabroni."
I think it is jabroni. I always liked old Tommy Young, too, in the NWA. You remember Tommy Young?
Yeah, I remember Tommy Young.
Yeah, he was good. And I'll tell you, a great announcer. To me, I know a lot of people say, well, Jim Ross. I don't think Jim Ross is that great. I always liked the guy in Florida. Gordon Soley. And I always liked the guy in the Mid-Atlantic, Bob Caudle. Mm-hmm. I always thought he was excellent. I always thought he was great.
Those two and Lance Russell.
Lance Russell wasn't bad. He wasn't bad. Yeah, he wasn't bad at all. Yeah. Greatest luchador
ever saw
wrestler of
wrestling.
all time. All I gotta do is ask my wife this one. Darlene, greatest masked wrestler we ever saw wrestle live. Rey Mysterio. She loved him, and I'll tell you why. We went and saw him at where did we go see him at? Reading, Pennsylvania. Reading, Pennsylvania. What's his name was still living?
Eddie Guerrero.
No, the other one. Yeah,
Benoit.
the one at
Benoit.
Benoit. Yeah. Benoit beat up Kurt Angle. He made him give up. At the end of the night, they were just saying, "Thank you so much for coming out watching the WWE tonight," and all this stuff. Here comes Mysterio back around the edge of the auditorium. And he's just doing like this for all the kids, all the folks, and all, just giving everybody. I mean, he was in no hurry at all to leave and all that. I was just like, we were so impressed by that. It was just so cool. And the kids was around us.
We got to vote in the chat room for Paul Bearer.
Paul
Okay.
Bearer.
Got to give some love to Paul Bearer.
Paul Bearer.
Percy Pringle, yeah.
Yeah, good manager.
Yeah, he was all right.
He was.
Legit mortician, too.
Really? He was.
Yeah, he was a legit
He certainly looked like a mortician.
Yeah,
He looked like a guy who'd seen sunlight
I like
in
it.
5 decades.
I like that Mitchell guy. I like him.
Sinister Minister.
Yeah,
Paul
he's
Mitchell.
with
Or
NWA.
Jim
now.
Mitchell. Sorry, Jim Mitchell.
Yeah, he's with NWA now. Yeah, he's with him.
He was fun when they had that run in ECW with Tajiri and Mikey Whipwreck.
Yeah, Tajiri was always fun to watch. Anytime he'd put that spider thing, what do they
The
call that thing?
tarantula.
Yeah, and the ropes on.
Yeah.
on
Yeah, he did the Muda Miss Spring, and
yeah.
Tajiri
was fun to
towards
watch.
the end, like his matches were top notch because he knew how to get the crowd into it with the screaming and the tarantula.
And I always liked
know.
Scott Levy. I always liked him. I always loved watching him. And then the one that acted like he had his eye popped out. What was his name? Scotty Riggs. Scotty Riggs. Yeah. I mean,
I think I always had the impression that deep down, Scott Levy probably had an IQ of about 150. He looked like he was the most intelligent guy.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Not a lie. He was a Mensa member, I believe.
He knew what was going to happen before it was going to happen a lot of times and stuff. And he could tell. He always ran with something that was always good or at least successful. He was very seldom a failure in wherever he went because he always, like you say, he ran around with a guy that would scratch himself all the time.
Yeah. When he put together that, what do you call it, the flock?
Yeah, that was so cool.
All those guys who were mid card, and he made him into a scratchy guy, and
yeah. What was?
Yeah, you had Sick Boy. You had Ron Reese. You had Stevie Richards.
Dancing Stevie Richards at one time, and then was Stevie Richards. Yeah,
that was brilliant.
Yeah.
Yes, because none of those guys in WCW were a top 20 talent. None of them were. But when he put them together, and he'd come out there with a stop sign in his hand and sit down in the corner like I don't give a shit about nothing. And then all of a sudden, all these guys would look at him like, and then he would just pick himself up. Next thing you know, 5 guys would attack one guy or whatever. He was just so funny.
Yeah.
It was really, really good. I enjoyed watching that. I enjoyed watching the flock. And then, of course, you couldn't beat Jericho when he had his manager because he had to me he had a top. Oh, he was one of the top 3 managers of all time. If you really want to go with it, yeah. He would look at the crowd and be like that to him. Nope, you don't touch him. You don't touch him. No. Never said a word. But he was so. That
was a dude that Jericho just found that guy on the backstage crew and looked at him and said,
he was a driver. He was a driver of one of the trailer trucks, and he done like that. and he would go around and then have a shirt that hit him off right about halfway through his stomach right there, and it said JPS, Jericho Personal Security. He could be, and it said he would come out there and he said, I love this. Jericho said, I have found out from my man Ralphus that I know you're not here, Greenberg. So Greenberg, when you do arrive, or if you do, I want to put you on notice right now that I think you should be fined $5 for every minute you're late tonight, and I don't want you to take my parking space ever again. Do you hear me? And I mean, he would preach to him and stuff like that, Greenberg, and then all of a sudden, you could tell this was something he stirred up. Then Dwayne Gill would come out there and do like this, I'm gonna come whip his ass. And Dwayne Gill was legit 5'8", 5'9".
Yeah,
he was legit, but they made him look like he was 5'2". It was so funny because they had 6'7" guys that were his his bodyguards,
his entourage.
Oh yeah, he would hit them off at their waist. His head would, or somewhere like that, and he'd be looking up at them like he's ready to go kick some ass. He'd get out there. Gilbert, I told you, don't you come out here because I have warned you more than one time. Ralph has said he would find you, and he found you. It was, oh my Lord! That was gold when those guys would get going. Yeah, you know what? You say you know 1,000 moves. I know 1,004 moves. Armbar, yeah.
I'll tell you what, though, that was a great payoff, though, when they finally had Malenko get Jericho when he put on the mask. And they revealed themselves probably the biggest pop Dean Malenko ever got. Jojo Dillon, you need to shut the hell up. Jojo, shut up. But he came out there and said that the two-handed, was it three? Flying credenza or something like that.
Yeah.
Something that was out of a Dr. Seuss book. The moss-covered three-handled family credenza or something like that.
Yeah, that was so funny. It was, the armbar. Yeah. And then they went to a commercial. Yeah, let's get rid of this goof. And he's still out there. And then the commercial.
And he comes back, he's still going, yeah.
And he's still out there. And number 488, armbar. Armbar. You can better believe those people.
What do we got going here? Who would win a real fight, Ken Shamrock or Lesnar?
Brock Lesnar's 20 years younger. Lesnar's 20 years younger. Back in the day, Shamrock. Yeah. Question for all you guys. What is one wrestling dream match you most would love to see? Well, to me, I would have loved to have seen in a cage Ric Flair and the guy from AWA, Bockwinkel. I would have loved to have seen a 60-minute match. Those two guys were great wrestlers. Nothing against WWE, but Backlund was just not as good a wrestler as those two guys were. He just wasn't. Hogan, name one time Hogan ever went 60 minutes. He never did. He never went 60 minutes with nobody.
He struggled to go 60 seconds.
Yeah. But
then that's what made when Page and Danielson went 60 minutes.
Yeah.
I was like, you can't do a 60-minute Broadway on live TV. Well, they did.
Yeah. So, that to me would have been a great one. Bockwinkel and Flair. Have Bockwinkel with Heenan and have Flair with J.J. Dillon.
Well, you had
Cleveland.
You had Bret Hart and Shawn Michaels do multiple Iron Man 1-hour matches.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They were all right, but I never was a Bret Hart fan, so I always like Ric Flair. Flair, that's one of the guys I would have loved to have seen him wrestle for an hour.
Roddy Piper and the Macho Man.
Yeah, they were all right.
Good call.
Yeah,
I would like. I remember one of my other favorites before he tore up his knee was Sting. Back when he was, I called him happy Sting.
When he was
It
when
was so
he
much
was
fun
coming,
to watch. Get around to it, and
when he was coming out of the tag
when he
team,
first
and
started out, he had the blonde hair and the face paint, and
he just got away
and
from
all that.
They called him Rock and Sting, the Blade Runners.
Remember
that?
Well, no,
Warrior
I'm talking
Sting.
about Sting the Surfer.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
we
yeah,
I
yeah.
understand
They call
that,
it the
but-
face paint,
Well,
yeah, yeah.
I'm talking about even before that.
Yeah,
Do you remember Rock and Sting? Do you remember who Rock was?
yeah, I remember Ultimate Warrior.
Yeah, that was Rock. Yeah,
Rock.
and Sting.
But
they,
no,
were,
for-
they were the Blade Runners. That's
The
what they
match
called
I would have
themselves.
liked to have seen was young Sting and Shawn Michaels.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah.
I would have
That'd be
liked.
fun.
I tell you, somebody else I'd love to have seen wrestle. I don't know how good. I don't in a cage now. We've seen them wrestle sometimes, different places, but I would have loved to have seen Stan Hansen and Bruiser Brody against the Road Warriors in a cage. I just think that would
The
have
ice packs would have to be right beyond the apron because God knows they'd have probably thrown a lot of potatoes.
because I've seen them wrestle. I've seen them wrestle in Japan a few times, and the thing is, they were always in the crowd within 5 minutes, and that's all the crowd wanted to see was Stan Hansen. Of all the wrestlers, including Flair, including the Road Warriors, Stan Hansen had Japan right in the palm of his hand the whole career. You know what, Dave?
Yeah,
He did, because he was one guy that never sold out to no company. He never sold out. He would wrestle where he wanted to. He never went over there and signed with WWE. He never signed with WCW. He went and wrestled for WCW for about 6 months, but he said, I never signed a contract. If I want to leave tomorrow, I can do it. And that's the kind of guy he was. He was just, and I love to watch him. Do you ever watch any of his interviews on YouTube? Oh,
yeah,
man. He is.
AWA did.
Oh,
Well, the other thing about Stan Hansen, you guys probably know, Stan Hansen was just about entirely blind.
Yeah. He couldn't see good.
He couldn't see anything, and he would get out there and he'd throw those clotheslines, and he didn't know what he was going to hit or who he was going to hit, and he'd bust your nose or bust your jaw, and he didn't care. And that was part of what made him so damn entertaining, is because you didn't know what was going to happen legitimately when he got into the ring and just started throwing.
That's Dave Little right there, Dar. Darlene saying hi to you. Her birthday was yesterday, guys.
Hi, Darlene. Born on Valentine's Day. I hope Rob took good care of you.
They said, I hope Rob took good care of you.
I'll throw another one that maybe had happened in a maybe later time, but should have happened. Rob Van Dam versus whoever was the world champion in a unification match. Because Van Dam had the television title for 23 months.
Yeah.
And I think it might have been Rhino might have had the world title.
Yeah.
If they'd had that unification match, Paul Heyman might still have a company. But then again, that probably runs until about 2000 with all the ultra violence, and then he's got to maneuver again because I don't think
you got to turn it down a notch.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. That's why they can't show some of these CZW.
It was a bloody mess on Wednesday.
Yeah. What are you talking about for this past?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Oh, he was a mess.
Oh, okay. I just don't watch WWE at all.
I don't either.
Yeah.
I mean, I had it on for a little bit, but I mean, was this
AEW had the bloody match going on? Really?
The Texas Death Match last Wednesday with Paige and the guy that Jake Roberts manages, Lance Archer.
Oh, okay. Now, how much longer do you see him holding the belt before he ends up dropping it? June?
I wouldn't doubt if he drops it to Cole at the pay-per-view.
Oh, is he supposed to wrestle Adam Cole?
Well, because the end of after the match, Cole gives Paige the title.
Oh.
And so that might set up an angle there.
I hope Cole. I like Cole. He's one of my favorites. I always liked Adam Cole. I liked him in Ring of Honor. I liked him in the Ring of Honor, man. He won a title like what 2-3 times
at least. He talks about how like
Yeah,
the baby was not really supposed to be over.
yeah,
Like he just kind of did it to have fun or just to, instead of saying baby. And the whole boom thing was another thing that was just he wanted to time out his music, and then the crowd all joined in.
Yeah, I saw Cole and Kyle O'Reilly when they were a tag team, real young, both of them. Come to Dayton, and they had a tag team against Steen and Steve Carino.
I actually saw in a cage down in North Carolina. I saw Steve Carino wrestle. The kid from down here in South Boston, the guy's the champion. What's his name?
Hangman Adam Page.
Yeah. Page and Carino. And I tell you one thing, they went for like 45 minutes in a cage. Carino beat him, but I'll tell you one thing. That's when he was still, so what was it, 07, I guess. He was still AWA champion then. He was, for a short time, he was AWA champion. And then they ended up folding that 10 over or whatever. But it was wild. My dream match would be Sting and Undertaker. I was not a real big Undertaker fan. I'll tell you somebody I would have loved to have seen wrestle. I would have loved to have seen Mick Foley and the guy that died back in 87, 88.
Oh, Bruiser Brody?
Bruiser Brody. Now you talk about not running away from each other and not giving two craps. Those two would have killed each other. Because Brody, I've got an interview. I don't know if anybody's ever seen it or not. That where he is sitting there talking to a guy and said something about, you're not going to release this to the public. Have you ever seen it, Dave?
No, I don't think so.
He's sitting there essentially saying, like, he told him, like, my real name is Frank Goodish.
Frank Good, yeah. Check it out, because I'll tell you what, it's just a straight-up interview with him, and it goes about 30 or 45 minutes, and he says, you've seen it before, Tim.
I've sort of seen the highlights of it.
Yeah, and he's just sitting there straight up and said, I played football here. I got hurt right here, and I started wrestling here. And I was offered a contract to go here and there, and I'm a free agent. I like doing this. Larry Harris, welcome.
Larry Harris.
And he was a sharp guy too. You want to give Levy it. This guy was too. He was really smart, and man, who knows where he would have been right now if he was still living? Because I'm telling you, he would have been some type of. He didn't want looking for world championship, so I ain't gonna say he'd been a world champion, but he would have been a bigger name than he is even now. But being that
he took the same approach as Hansen did. He didn't stay in one place. He traveled around and did his thing.
Right. He would stay in a place for a month, 6 weeks, and say bye, and stay there and wrestle 5-6 times.
Yeah.
And before he got hot or cold, he would leave and go somewhere else. And like you say,
take the money and run.
Yeah, very seldom did they put him over though. Most of the time, he came in there fist first, and he was ready to fight. And it would be like, oh, okay, this guy, they're gonna run through the jobbers this week. Jeff Sword, Vinny Valentino. You remember those guys, Dave?
Yeah, they'd build him up, and they'd put him in the ring against the biggest badass in the territory, and they'd tear the place down, and then he'd move on.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's what happened when he took on Luger in a cage. And you remember
Luger
that?
Didn't know whether to poop or wind his watch.
Right, he didn't know which way to go. He jumped out of that cage and said he was looking to kill me. He was looking to kill me.
Well, usually.
But the fact is, though, they didn't even have a wrestling match. They ended up saying that Luger was sick, and he ended up climbing out. Way I understand it, that was down in Florida. Kern and who was the other one? Oh, Mike Graham met him at the door when he came around back there and said they beat the living garbage out of him. They said they couldn't. And they were just waiting for what's his name to come back in and finish it.
Out of Luger?
Yeah, they beat the crap out of Luger and just said, "Hey, you're out of here." And that's when they ended up sending him to. They ended up sending him to Atlanta like 2 weeks later. It's like, now this guy's done lost all credibility with us now, because that was one of their biggest shows. That was supposed to be, and 40. That was it. That was the next. It wasn't the main event, but it was the next thing to the main event. And Flair was back in the back, just done like yes when he saw Luger. He was like, and then they bring Luger up there for the Four Horsemen and all. That was, I mean, it worked out for him while it happened.
Yeah, Luger was a smart guy.
Yeah,
He just didn't. Luger just wasn't a wrestling fan.
no, he didn't know the sport.
He didn't have wrestling in his blood.
No, he didn't know the sport. He didn't know the sport.
He just had $1 million body and didn't know what to do with it.
Right. $1 million what they said, $1 million body and a 5-cent brain to go with it. Yeah, he didn't have nothing to go. Yeah, because Tully Blanchard, if there was an instigator on this earth, Tully Blanchard was an instigator, because he'd look at you, do like this, and kind of do like that, then run. That was the funny
then he'd
thing.
go hide behind the rest of the horsemen.
Right.
Because he knew the other guys had his back, and so he was going to.
Or hide behind Baby Doll. That was even better when he would do like that. And then run his mouth, and then it was so funny, because then he would be outside doing that. Then 5 or 10 minutes later, after somebody figured him out, they'd go out there and slide up under the ring or whatever, go out there and beat the living crap out of him, and then he'd end up finding some kind of way to get on top of you for a while. But it was
Baby Doll was legit. She was like 5'10" and
5'11", and she weighed. Yeah, she was big as he was.
She was a Texas shot putting champion.
Yes.
And so she was.
I
remember Cornette telling a story about her where, Cornette and Baby Doll were working an angle, and she missed a cue, and she got all frustrated, upset, and she kind of lost track of what she was doing, and she hit Cornette so hard. She forgot to pull her punch. She just knew she was supposed to hit Cornette, and she hauled off and slugged him, and he didn't wake up for about 3 days.
Yeah. Cornette was great too, and then he got up on a scaffold that time and fell off. He was supposed to get caught that time. What's his name was supposed
Bubba
to catch
Rogers
him?
was supposed to catch him.
Yeah, Big Bubba was supposed to catch him, and he ended up being the boss man. He was so much. I like Big Bubba better than the boss man. I mean, boss man was okay. He was funny when he had the stick out there. But how about this guy? How about this guy, Nails? Do you remember him?
Mm-hmm.
The guy went.
I am gonna get you. I am gonna. I mean, he'd spit garbage out. I am gonna get you if it's the last thing I ever do. Oh my gosh!
She was.
Well, how about the boogeyman?
3, 6, 4, 8, 6, 8, or whatever, and he would come out there to the ring. I'm going to take that stick from you, and he'd beat the crap.
Essentially, the angle was that he was a prisoner of the boss man, and then they had their little feud, and then essentially he was a one feud guy pretty much.
That's it.
Well, he got into it with McMahon, and he beat the crap out of McMahon, and that's why he got fired.
Yeah. He actually went to the backstage and beat him up because it was a money deal. It was a money deal there too. Because I'll tell you, one of the best wrestlers that ever went to the WWE, and they never used him the right way, because he was an AWA champion at one time with Rick Martel. They bring him in, and they got him as a perfume man or whatever. They call him the
model, Rick Martel.
Yeah, the model. And then what is it? This week you go to wrestle this Coco Beware. He's got a bird out there.
And then there's
we go to have
this match at SummerSlam '92 where him and Michaels don't hit each other in the face.
Yeah, this deal was they got to wear a cape over their head, right?
Oh, that was blindfold match where Robert puts the hand in front of his face.
Well, this right here was him and the Birdman, Coco Beware. And the Birdman puts it on and starts tying it up. And what's his name puts it on a little ways and then pulls it off. Yep. And Heenan says, I think he's going on the honor system and promising to close his eyes when he gets over.
Yeah.
And then Monsoon probably goes, what do you know about the honor system?
What was funny about it was, at the end, I mean, he puts a mask on at the end and puts him in the thing and then takes it off real quick and starts beating him up again. And old McMahon says, "Oh, come on," and Heenan says, "Yeah, come on, a couple more." Heenan was he was gold on him, like, "Yeah, oh, come on, yeah, come on, a couple more," and I'm like, "Oh my gosh!" Yeah, but I with those beautiful looks, I think he should go on the honor system and just say, "I promise to close my eyes when I get over it."
And the interesting thing is that they brought Martel into WCW to try to get Booker T over.
Yeah.
And then the problem was that he legitimately got injured, but still decided to continue. And it was like,
yeah.
I mean, even for a guy that hadn't been in the big time for probably 4 or 5 years, he did okay.
Yeah. He was a good AWA champion. He wasn't bad.
Yeah.
They would have been better off to have kept Kurt Hennig as a champ, though, because they were hot then. Remember when he used the dimes? And, yeah, and he ended up winning the belt from Bockwinkel. And I was like, that's gold right there. And then the guy from South Africa, "I will not wrestle. There's a black man I'm like,
Colonel De Beers.
Oh my Lord.
Yeah.
Now
And
you couldn't have that deal going on.
Yeah.
That guy though, but I see him now. He's still out and about. He was a mid-level talent at best. But the guy on the mic, he was gold on the mic. I mean, he would be like, "I will not wrestle this." Oh my Lord. Because people hated him. I mean, furiously hated him. They really did. It was wild. And it was only a few people that could be that way. Ivan Koloff was excellent too. Ivan Koloff, man, oh man, because all you had to do was listen to him after he retired, before he passed away. He was like, "Yeah, I enjoyed every day I ever wrestled." He says, "I've never been to Russia in my life, but I'm from Canada."
James Harris or some,
He was from Canada. He says, I lived in Canada for most of my adult life, but I enjoyed being a Russian, even though I never went to Russia." And he was so funny about that shit. And then Barry Darso, you hear him talk about it now and come back and say, "Well, yeah, I enjoyed it." And then Meathead, what was the guy's name? Private Powell, not Private, not Canodal, but the other one. Canodal, did Canodal die? I was thinking I heard somebody say Don Canodal died.
He died about a year ago from suicide.
Yeah. Oh, did he? Oh, he's committed suicide. Yeah. I met him a few times, but the other guy was from right here in Virginia.
When Kirshner, was it?
No. What was the guy? He had a head on him about this size right here. Big.
Colonel Rob Parker?
No. This guy, he played a Russian a couple of times, but he was in.
Nikolai Volkov?
No, Sergeant Slaughter's army. He was in Sergeant Slaughter's army.
Ednon.
Private Nelson. Private Nelson.
Terry Daniels?
No, not Terry Daniels. Nope. Nelson. What was Nelson's name?
I don't remember there being any privates. I remember he had the guys with them with
Canodal. He had Private Canodal and Private Nelson. They were the Mid-Atlantic Tag Team Champions. What was his name? Let's see. Hold on. I'll tell you, because he later went to played Volkov or something like. He was one of those guys. He was one of the. Let's see. Wrestler Private Nelson. Let's see what his name was. Because he kept a real short hair, and he played Boris Zukov too.
Oh, okay.
And then let's see. I'll tell you.
I remember Zukov, but I don't remember him with Slaughter.
But I'll show you him with Slaughter in just a second. And Private Jim Nelson.
Okay. Yeah, I went. That's Zukov. But yeah, I didn't remember him.
There he is. I tell you, with Nelson and Cano, I mean, Nelson Canodal, and yeah, you two pukes, you better get to the ring right now, or there's gonna be problems. You maggots. Yeah.
Yeah,
And
I got
he's
to go. Oh, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, I know Bob. What's his name is still up and running on Twitter. He's big time on Twitter. I'm talking about Slaughter. He's big on it. Yeah. What was you gonna say, Dave?
Last summer, I got to go to the induction ceremony for the Pro Wrestling Hall of Fame in Waterloo, Iowa.
Okay.
Right down the road from Madison, and they inducted Don Kernodle, and it was right after he had died.
Oh, really?
And so his brother was supposed to speak, and his brother and Rocky was just completely torn up and couldn't give a speech. He was so upset. But Slaughter was there, and he came in and really kind of put the whole show together and gave a real nice speech about Kernodle and
really
real good.
Now, what was Kernodle's? Is it Larson? Keith Larson. That's what he went by first instead of Rocky Kernodle. Keith Larson, and he came in and that was Rocky Kernodle. So
that was
Keith Larson.
Yeah.
Right. Keith Larson came in. He was a clean guy, and he was getting his ass whipped every week. And then Don Kernodle was a dirty guy, and sometimes they would even wrestle each other. And then eventually he came up to Crockett and said, look, my brother has been with you for 5 years or whatever. He deserves more money, and he deserves a push. And he says, okay, the only way he's getting a push is if you tag with him. So they made him the Kernodle brothers, which they still didn't get a huge push. I think he got the Mid-Atlantic Tag Team belts one time or something like that. But still, so Denver Broncos still getting sold to billionaire Robert Smith. How about that? So
that's supposed to be in like the $4 billion range, I think.
I've heard that. Bolin wants some money. He wants some money.
Well, the Bolin family wants the money.
Yeah.
To go back to AEW in Cleveland, you want to know the difference between the two shows. Well, Dave Meltzer put this on Twitter. He says the attendance was 25% ahead of the most recent show that was there 3 weeks ago than was there 2 years ago.
Really? That's awesome.
Cleveland's, if you don't go there so often, and especially if you got new talent, and trust me, my generation wanted to see Jericho, Danielson, Punk, and Wardlow was going to turn. That was the big thing leading up. Was Wardlow going to turn in his hometown?
And he didn't.
It didn't happen. I was like, oh.
He was hoping he would.
I was hoping he would. But he's a guy that's he's still in Northeast Ohio. He lives in Willoughby, which is a Cleveland suburb. So anyway.
Is anything beat? What's your best thing live to go watch? Wrestling, hockey, baseball, Dave?
I like wrestling. But I like it. I would rather go to a wrestling show with about 200 people than 20,000.
Oh, okay.
I used to love Ring of Honor and the little independent shows, Chikara, where you're right down there and you're interacting and you're having fun.
Right.
Compared to, I went to one WrestleMania, the one in Indianapolis, and we were, second deck up, and we could barely see what was going on.
How much was a ticket? A couple $100?
Around 100, but it was, it was WrestleMania 8 or whatever, so it was before the prices blew up, and it was second deck, so it wasn't like we were paying.
Do you remember who wrestled when you went?
It was Flair and Savage.
Yep.
It was at WrestleMania 8?
I was at the one in Orlando when Michaels retired Flair.
Oh, okay. That was a good match.
Yeah, that whole show. You had Edge and Undertaker close the night out. That's the night they had fans get burned with the pyro because something fell back by the stage.
I remember that. Yeah.
Now, was that indoors or outdoors?
Orlando?
Yeah, it was outdoors.
That was in the Citrus Bowl.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. And then where was yours at, Dave? You went to see?
It was Indianapolis. I think it was.
Lucas Oil.
No,
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 it was
no,
before-
no.
it was
Old
before
school
Lucas
Hoosier
Oil.
RCA Dome.
It was the
Oh,
RCA
okay.
Dome. Yeah.
RCA Dome. Oh, okay. And then Tim, what was the biggest wrestling event you ever went to?
Well, I would say I went to Invasion 2001. However,
Okay.
I will say the well, not as good per se. I did go to No Mercy 99, where Edge and Christian and the Hardy Boys had their epic ladder match. Wow, that was awesome. And then the next match was Mick Foley and Val Venus. I was like, I'm going to the bathroom.
Went to the original Starcade, Greensboro. Yeah.
What, 83?
83 was a dog collar match.
Piper and Valentine.
Yeah.
Piper Valentine.
That
Yeah.
was probably the best match I ever witnessed. Flair for the gold. So I think it was a Flair and Race.
Flair and
Race. The Briscoes, along with was it Smoking Joe Frazier won't there. Who was? Oh, I tell you who it was. It was that old guy I couldn't stand. Angelo Mosca, I think was a referee against the Briscoes and then Youngblood and Steamboat, and they won their belts back. Let's see who else wrestled that damn thing. It was two or three matches early on. They had some people I'd never even heard of. I want to say it was Kendall Windham and somebody wrestled too. I don't forget. But it was. I think I paid $10. May have been 12 when I went and watched that in '83, which is nuts. Which is crazy nuts.
It's amazing to go look back at even like baseball ticket prices, wrestling ticket
Oh, yeah.
prices.
Well, I remember WCW used to have the Great American Bash every year at the arena in Baltimore.
Yeah.
I mean, you can get a ticket for $8 to $10.
Yep.
And I remember paying
Now $10 won't even get you a place to park.
right. Yeah, you're parking for $10 if you're lucky.
Yeah. Well, if you go to Philly, you
I'm-
park for $30. It costs $30 to
All I
park
can
there.
say is I am glad that we don't have to pay for parking when we work these events,
Yeah.
because the Geico garage right across the Amway Center is $25.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I'm lucky that I can take when I take it to go into work, and I can walk to either Rocket Mortgage Fieldhouse or Progressive Field.
Yeah.
It's a lengthy walk, and you can even walk to the Browns Stadium if you wanted to from.
Oh, okay.
From-
And a lot of, and you can probably do most of that indoors, don't you? And if you go from building to building in the skywalks, yeah.
Yeah, well, at least for the field house, you can. You got to go about halfway up the one steps, and then you have to go outside and go around. Trust me, I went to a Indians Astros game in 2013 when they were on their long winning streak to end the season, and it was a rain shortened game, and we had to book all the way down to like out of Progressive Field into the then Quicken Loans Arena, because that's where you have to go. Technically, you have to go in the like arena and then down, and it leads you to the tower.
Yeah.
So
I love going to any baseball game. I'm with you, Larry. I love baseball. I love watching baseball.
For a summer, like
Question is, are we going to have a baseball this year?
Because we have a tradition where we got a couple of guys. One went to the University of Michigan and one grew up there. So it's like we have our Indians fans and our Tigers fans. And just sitting back and relaxing on a Tuesday evening with not a care in the
more
world.
relaxing than the ballpark.
Right.
Yeah, I
summertime.
couldn't agree any more
you know.
with Todd B. You know, best spot for your money right now, minor league baseball.
Yeah. And look, I'm sorry if anybody disagrees with me, but if you don't have 3 hours to go to the stadium, don't go.
I agree.
If it takes 3 hours and 15 minutes to play, or 3 hours and 30 minutes, you're not. If you're like me and the game is 6-5 in the 8th or 9th inning, you're not looking at the clock if you don't have anywhere you
No.
be. You're not worried about it. That's
That's not why you go to baseball. You go to baseball just to get away and relax.
and get away. Yeah, that's it. And I don't mind at all if you're going to make it 2 7-inning games on Saturday. I'm fine with that. But make it one gate. Make it one gate where I can go in there. I can watch a 7-inning game. I can take whoever I got with me go get a hot dog, drink, go to the restroom and whatever, and then come back to my seat. 45 minutes later, let's have a second game going. Don't play.
The sad thing about that, Rob, you're saying one gate. It'd probably be cheaper in the long run for 2 gates. Okay, you leave in between the games. You go out and get something to eat.
Yeah.
By the time
the only problem, the parking. Parking.
Yeah, I mean,
that's what kill you. The parking. That's what kill you.
I was joking with somebody the other night down here at the Amway Center. Okay. And they went up and got one of them personal pizzas that they have up there for Papa John's. $21 for a cheese freaking pizza.
Well,
yeah.
A little 4-slice pizza.
Yeah, kind of like what we got for free if we read enough books per month for Pizza Hut.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Well, it's funny you mention that. Okay, they got Papa John's in the arena. Okay, but Pizza Hut is one of their sponsors. Yeah.
Oh boy.
Absolutely. I'm working tomorrow night, Rob. If I get a chance, I will send you the pictures of the Papa John's counter, and also send you a picture of the Pizza Hut logo on the boards.
Oh, okay.
Oh, wait, no, the Magic are there tomorrow. It'd be Thursday night when they have the boards.
Okay. Up. Okay, that's cool. Do that for the hockey game.
Yeah, I mean it's unreal. You're selling Papa John's pizza in the arena, but Pizza Hut is your sponsor.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
It doesn't make sense.
Now man, I tell you, it makes me feel real old because anytime we were on the ice, we were always warned like beforehand. If you wear a hat on your head, you can't wear Mobile One, anything with oil, anything, because this guy ran his own oil company, and he said, "Look, I prefer you didn't wear a hat at all because you kind of show, people can see your face better." And but I you don't think about that too much until you start seeing how much money is getting brought in by places and stuff like that, and it's crazy.
Oh yeah,
yeah, it's nuts, man. It really is. So, Dave, what's the biggest thing going to happen this year? Is Major League Baseball going to play? They're not going to play, or is USFL going to take over for the spring and be like, we're going to be the new?
I think baseball is going to come around eventually.
Yeah. Do you how many games do you think they miss if they miss any out of 162? 20?
They'll get started by 1st of May. I would think.
So maybe they may miss 20, 30 games.
They may miss 20 games or so, yeah.
Yeah. Harris, what do you think? Do you think they get started by May, or do you think they may even get started a little earlier than that?
I'm thinking they'll get started. They'll go about 140 games.
Okay. Yeah, that's what
sounds about right.
Yeah. I think April 15th. I think tax time.
when the season should really be starting. No offense.
Yeah, right.
If they could pull these Sunday 7-inning doubleheaders against divisional opponents,
we can start
Saturday for God's sakes. Oh, but the kids are busy on Saturday. No offense, they're busy on Sindays too. That pisses me off too.
Right. Start 2 weeks later. I love the way the minor leagues do it now. Minor leagues here, single A ball. Lynchburg is 35 minutes away from Salem. Lynchburg, it's the Hillcats with the Indians. Salem's the Red Sox. And they will be off Monday. Then they for travel Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and a doubleheader on Sunday. They'll play 7 games in 6 days, and then give them off Monday, and then they'll travel again to whatever city they're going to go to. But they play all those games in one city.
They're playing 7 games in one city?
It's the way they do it. And then they'll go to Wilmington, stay in Wilmington, be off Monday. Every team in the league's off Monday. If there's a rain out early within the first 4 games, they'll make it up either Friday or Saturday. So they'll have you may see doubleheader Saturday, doubleheader Sunday. two 7 innings. They'll start at 1 o'clock and they'll be done in time for them to travel Monday to get wherever they need to be there and get there Monday, so they'll be ready to play this next 7 days in that one town and stay there the whole time. The hotels are set for them and everything. I think it's great. I think it look how much travel they do. I mean, less travel they do. It used to be.
Yeah.
They would play 3 games in Salem.
Well, you're talking about that. I mean, look at the ECHL.
Yeah.
Okay. Wheeling came in here for 3 games in hockey. You played Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Yeah.
Utah came across. Okay. They had 2 games here with the Solar Bears. They played 4 games with the Everblades, and they played 2 games with Jacksonville. That was their entire 2-week stretch. They came east one time. They don't play anybody else in this area.
Makes all the sense in the world. Yeah.
The problem is that they're all about the money now.
Yep.
And the other thing is, hey guys, can we maybe start a World Series game at 7:30, 7:15 even? I understand the West Coast is going to be pissed, but you're going to be pissed anyways.
Yeah.
You're playing those 10 a.m. games for the division series.
Right.
They start at 1 o'clock Eastern. Like, guess what? If you're that big of a baseball fan or you're a transplant, you'll find a way.
Exactly.
Yeah. Regular season, I don't have a problem at all. If they want to take a couple of the series, go over there and play in Manchester or something, play a couple of series over there if they want to do it, preferably with non-division rivals. I would rather see, but the bad thing about non-division rivals, you only come to town there one time a year, where division rivals will come to town 3 times. But, I know Mexico City, they're wanting baseball down there big time. They would love to have 6 to 9 games down there a year. They may get 5 before it's over with. Who knows?
See, that's sort of an opening weekend type of thing that you do.
Yeah,
right.
In Mexico City or some
Montreal,
other special attractions.
Montreal wants to host again, and
because I mean, no offense,
Montreal wants
draw
to
yourselves an opening day, but what are you drawing game to? 10,000 if you're in Cleveland,
right?
Like just
exactly.
Have it over there. Hell, I'm replaying the season where they had the foot of snow and canceled the first 3 games and had to play the next series in Milwaukee.
Do you think they end up expanding to 32 teams eventually?
No time soon. No time soon. Not within the next 5 years.
It'd have to be like 10 to 15 years. Like the dollar. I think it's going to be Montreal, to be honest with you. But they have to build the stadium, and then the economics have to be right.
And then do you think they go to the same format that the NFL has?
Which
division-wise?
Is sort of like
8 divisions, 4 teams.
4 American League divisions of 4, 4 National League divisions of 4.
It could work out. I mean,
it would be okay.
To balance the schedule again.
Yeah. The worst thing about that would be to try to spread it to make all the American League. You see, I'd love to make it again where the National League and American League stayed to themselves. And if you made it 4 teams in your division,
well, I think
you could still have 20. You could still have 25 games against those 3 division rivals each, and 75 of those games, and then the rest of you play the rest of the league with the other part of your schedule. But
then you don't have to worry about the interdivision play. Then I mean,
and that's the thing. I think that would be good if you did. Let's say for instance you had Boston. Let's say you had New York Yankees. Let's say you had the Baltimore Orioles and Toronto Blue Jays. Let's just say those 4.
You play 78 games with it in your division. That's 26 games against each of the 3 teams. Yeah,
that would be fine. 13 at home, 13 on the road.
Right.
And then that's the thing. You would hate each other by the end of the year. I mean, you really would. 26 times New York and Boston.
Well, they're playing each other 20 to 22 now.
They play 19 times. They play 19 times.
Okay, so now
7 more times. That'd be
that leaves you 84 games.
one
and
more
you
trip
divide
league.
that just between the other 12 teams in the American
Yeah.
League or whatever.
You're right.
All right,
Yeah.
so that gives you 7 games.
Yep,
Yeah.
the 1
Against
4-game
each
and 1 3-game.
You can
and you
go-
alternate each year.
Right. You
Yep.
could you could go to one of them's house one time, and they would come to your house one time. That'd be
Right.
it. Yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah, you mean 3
That'd be
4
one-
games.
A 3 and a 4, like Tim said, on a rotating basis.
Yep.
You know,
And then-
Baltimore goes to Chicago to the White Sox 3
And
times
then-
this year.
then
Next year,
4 times.
it's 4.
Then have you 4 division winners,
Mhm.
and then have yourselves 2 wild cards,
Okay.
and then go with it that way. Be
And
like,
then your
okay,
Personally, I
top 2
think-
seeds get buys,
personally-
although
Top
they
two
don't
get
like
the
that
buys.
word.
I
and then-
think now my personal opinion. Okay, if they were to go four divisions American League, 4 divisions National League, get rid of the wild card.
just
Just
go
the
with the
division winner.
division. All right, now what happens though? Let me ask you this one. Let's say Boston wins 103 games. Let's say Yankees win 100, and then the Central Division, one of them wins 82, or 87, or 80. 88.
Yeah.
Okay, compare it to 2020 NFL season. Yeah, the Eagle. Who is it? The Redskins made the playoffs with a below 500 record
Yeah.
Yeah.
and hosted
Yeah,
the game.
yeah.
Yeah.
They were 9-7, weren't they?
7 and 9.
I think it was
the-
7 and
the
9.
Seahawks hosted a game at 7 8 and
Were they
1.
7-9? Okay,
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like
Or 7
Tim
and 9.
said,
Yeah.
Seattle
The
won a
earthquake
division
game.
7 8 and 1.
yeah,
You know, a few
Yeah.
years.
The thing about baseball is that baseball is such a long season.
yeah.
Right.
Compared
hate
to
to- you-
football.
You hate to see a 100-win team not
Yeah.
not
And
at least.
And for the fans, you got to have different teams coming in. The fans don't want to go see the same game every night,
Right.
night after night after night.
Yeah.
And if you're in Cincinnati or Philadelphia or someplace and you've never seen Mike Trout or Shohei Ohtani play,
Yeah.
Right.
and you can see him play once every 2 or 3 years if you
Well,
Yeah.
under
they come to town, so
my schedule, you're going to see every American League team every year.
Yeah,
in your
but we're
ballpark.
talking
We're gonna
about
play
like
home and away
if,
every year. Whether
like
it's 3
the
games
Cardinals
or 4 games.
came to town one time. It was the first time I'd ever seen Albert Pujols.
Yeah.
You know, like the problem is either you're going to the All-Star game to see them play, or for my instance, you got to travel 4 hours or 2.5 if you want to go to Pittsburgh, or 3 maybe. You're traveling 3 to 4 hours to go see
if they don't play in their division, I mean,
right. If they go see
league.
the National League team.
Yeah.
So
So,
And I
so
think
if I were going to do a 32 team baseball league, I
Uh-huh.
would get 4 divisions of 8 instead of 8
That could work too.
4, and
Okay.
then keep the wild cards
Yeah.
so that there's the wild cards are good because there are more cities interested in baseball further into the year. Because if you've got one of these deals where the Yankees are winning 100 games and nobody else is winning more than 90.
Yeah.
Everybody who's not a Yankees fan is done with baseball by 1st of September.
Right.
And there's nothing left to watch. So
But if
I
there
would
is a
pick bigger divisions and keep the wild card so that there's
keeps
more
them
cities interested in
keeps some
baseball
interest.
for a longer
Keeps some
period of time.
interest. Right. Keep it interested in the smaller
Yeah.
cities. Yeah. I'm with you. Got you all the way. Well, guys, guess what? It's 11:15, and we've been here for 2.5 hours, and we've been crapping around. And guess what? I enjoyed every minute of it. I don't know about you guys.
Always
I-
a blast.
Yeah, I always have
Always
fun.
fun.
Larry Harris says, I don't want many interdivision anymore. I liked it at first, but I'm ready for them to go play in their own leagues now. I don't think it's ever going to happen again. I'm sorry, Larry. Now they're going all the way with Alan Shaw. Don't listen to this. DH is coming to both leagues. He doesn't like that.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, but he doesn't like it. I know now. But how often is there going to be 2 100-game winners in the same division? Not very often. Not
No.
very often.
No, especially if you go to 4 teams in a division, you're not going to have that many.
Yeah.
Because you're going, like you said, you're going to bang heads 78 times between those 4 teams.
I thought I heard the DH is going universal. Now it is.
Yep.
I think they've agreed on that.
they did agree on that.
I am the
along
one
with-
who likes the DH. Oh, but love the pitcher batting in it nationally. You see, I I'm this, and I know I make a lot of people upset when I say this. If I'm paying $50 to go to sit into a game, I love to see the DH because, I understand it takes the management things out of hand, but it also, I don't mind the 3-batter rule even. I don't even mind that, but I do like it to where you can have innings, not where the number 6 guy gets a triple, and then number 7 guy gets a walk. And then the end of the inning's coming up because you got 8 and 9 coming up.
Yep.
I do not like the DH, but I would rather have it in both leagues than have 2 leagues playing under different rules.
Have the same one way or the other.
Yeah.
And the thing is, National League now should go to the commissioner and say, look, let's up the amount that we can spend.
The luxury tax.
Right, the luxury tax, because guess what? We got to spend extra $10 million on number 9 hitter, on a second hitter. And I think they should do it. Now,
the Cincinnati Reds have already been planning for that. They went and got a bunch of guys like Mike Moustakas and Jesse Winker and guys that cannot catch a ball to save their lives.
Right.
2 years ago, because they knew the DH was coming.
Yeah. Now, let's see. What was I going to ask? Oh, geez.
I'll throw this in there. Did you guys see the stat on what the National League pitchers hit last year? Their batting average?
108.
108.
Yeah.
I mean, who wants to see that? The way I always thought of it was this way: for a National League game, you were essentially shorting the game to 8 innings if the pitcher gets 3 at bats.
Yeah. Now let me ask. How about this? What if we went to all the teams and said, guess what? There's a minimum you have to spend, or there's going to be a luxury tax you have to give to the league.
Yeah.
So let's say if you don't spend $45 million, and you spend 31,
then you don't get your revenue sharing.
$14 million goes to the other teams. We're going to split it. We're going to split it to the other teams, and we don't care which, whether you like it or not.
And I would say that you have to keep that salary minimum until, I'd say, even like August 31st.
Till trade deadline.
Trade deadline.
Right. Exactly. And then if you want to unload, then you unload. Then that's fine. I don't have a problem with that either.
Right.
But and then you're going to have.
They're all guaranteed contracts anyway.
Yeah, but the thing of it is, this is what's I don't know. Let's say a team like Tampa would do. Tampa would keep the conglomerate of kids that's not played 5 years yet. Keep them in there, and it's making $26 million. And they would go out here and get them somebody like a what's the guy's name I've been talking about? Could be a good DH. Nelson Cruz, and go pay him $18 million. Go pay him $18 million, and then say, okay, let's put him in here as our DH. And then the thing is, if they're out of it, all they got to do is say, okay, let's trade Nelson Cruz. He's a 1 month rental for somebody else, and guess what? He's off our books now, and now we're back to spending $26 million. There's ways around things, which I don't have a problem with that. But at least, like you say, Tim, until the 31st of August, make them keep it in place where it'd have to be at least that amount.
I can live with that.
I can live with that too, because if you're 15, 20 games out, I don't mind seeing them.
Well, actually, no, take that back now. There is no August 31st trade deadline. They got rid of that.
Except
last 2 years.
July 31st.
And that's it. There's
there's no
trading
through waivers, and it used to be July 31st was the trade deadline, but then the last month you could pass a guy through waivers and then trade him.
Yeah, you can't do that anymore. So probably August 1st. Okay, I'm fine with that.
All right, Rob, I'm going to take off.
Yeah.
All right, Harris.
Tim,
for Dave, my name's Rob. I hope you will go watch Dave's channel, go watch Tim's channel, go watch Harris's channel. We all 4 have channels now going on, and be safe. Do not drink and drive, and definitely come back and watch us as much as you can, because we enjoy it, and I know you enjoy it as well. Have a great evening. Thanks, Dave. Thanks, Tim. Thanks, Harris. Have a good one, my friend.
Everybody.
Bye-bye.
Later, guys.